The ball is
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Where you are.
I'm gonna go.
Life. You're a shooting star. One shining moment. Reach for the stars. One shining moment. One shining
More tournaments need songs.
On today's part of my take, we recap the first day of madness. Not a ton of madness, but some madness.
McNeese madness.
McNeese madness. Will Wade madness. We also have our good friend Stanford Steve on to talk exclusively Friday picks. So we're breaking down the whole board. If you got your teeth kicked in on Thursday, you can listen to this. And Stanford Steve's a lot smarter than us. We got some picks for Friday. We do a bonus Mount Rushmore, out of Mount Rushmore season, but we did a Mount Rushmore.
Great Mount Rushmore.
Great Mount Rushmore. And then we were going to finish with Fyre Fest.
Also Severance spoilers.
Also Severance spoilers, but not really because none of us watched the finale yet.
And that's also going to be at the end of the show.
End of the show during the Fyre Fest.
So the beginning of Fyre Fest.
Yes.
Just if you're like 3 episodes behind with Severance.
Yes.
Fast forward.
But otherwise, we don't know the finale. Also, I love the Purdue high point under. Okay, DraftKings. When it comes to college basketball and March Mania, one thing is for sure, nothing's for sure. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella's advancing, top seeds going home early. It's all going to happen, but bet the unexpected every upset every day with DraftKings Sportsbook. With live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays, DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make your first bet? Check out the matchups and pick a team to win. It's that simple. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers, bet $5. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. For new customers, get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, March 21st, and we've got madness.
I thought you were going to say
madness.
And the SEC is dead.
Yeah, the SEC.
Not really, but really,
Mizzou.
The Big Ten, congratulations.
Big Ten and Big East had a nice day. We had not the craziest first day of madness, but McNeese State, I think, leads the storyboard because what a day for Will Wade. He's announced as the new coach of NC State, then goes out and gives us a classic 12-5 upset where I know it looks like a 2-point game, but they were dominating Clemson for the majority of the game.
Clemson couldn't make a shot in the first half. It was ugly. Towards the end, they started to pour it in. It all came in like kind of all of a sudden, so the 2 points looks a lot closer than it was. But yeah, Will Wade, Clemson alum, beating his alma mater, then going to NC State. And new rival.
Yeah, and did it the right way because we've seen it the wrong way. And a million times where coaches will say, I'm not talking to them. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm focused on my team. Will Wade said 2 days ago, I'm having conversations with NC State.
Yeah, I heard some people that were upset about it. I think Will Wade probably told his students last year.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to come back for another year. I probably had some offers. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be talking to other schools. You guys want to transfer at the end of this year too, probably, if all goes well. If you win games in the tournament, you'll get to transfer to a better school, maybe get some NIL money. So I think Will Wade, in a stunning twist, everything that he was doing that was illegal back then is legal now.
Yeah.
And he's just being open and honest about it and telling the kids, like, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to leave. You're probably going to go look for some money too. Let's win some games.
Not only that, but with the new transfer portal rules, he's going to take a bunch of these guys with him.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I'm going to be open with
Who's
you guys.
coming with me?
I'd rather Will Wade be transparent about it. Yeah, it's awkward that he took a new job before his team even played in the tournament. Then Darren DeVries, who went from West Virginia to Indiana in the Bahamas in December and had his son sit out the year for a medical red shirt. The game is the game, so it's not like I'm saying, oh, man, he did something so wrong. West Virginia's having a bad week. But I'd rather have the Will Wade where you're just upfront about it and saying, yeah, I'm talking to NC State. Oh, yep, I got a new job.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. And I'm also sure that Will Wade told the administration, I am going to be listening to phone calls if they come.
Right. All right, so game. So McNeese was the big upset, so to speak. They were 7.5-point underdogs, and they were the 12-5 matchup. The other big one was Drake. Finally, Drake has staved off the meltdown that we are all accustomed to with Drake in the tournament, where they start a game, they're up big, and then they slowly melt down. They tried to do it. It was like they were up all game, and it was, I think, a 2-point game with about 5 minutes left, but they beat Mizzou, which was kind of a stunning upset because the SEC has been, the big bad SEC, has been the talk of college basketball this year. And it was that one and Cal and the boys, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Ending Hunter Dickinson's career.
And they look good.
Yeah.
Arkansas looked real good. They were getting boards. They were creating a lot of turnovers. So many turnovers for Kansas. It was crazy. Like, Kansas felt like they were going to come start knocking at the door, and then they just couldn't get the ball down the court.
Yeah.
It was very strange. And I think that Arkansas, the way that they're built, we can talk about St. John's, but not only are we going to get Cal Pitino like America wanted in the second round, but I think that those two schools can give each other a really good game.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it was it was an interesting game because Cal was basically shocked by Kansas being like, hey, we're going to zone you in the second half. And there was that stretch where Arkansas just could not score, and Kansas even took the lead with a couple minutes left. But we all wanted this game, and we're going to get this game.
I have a question for you, Big Cat.
Yeah.
Is Bill Self on the hot seat?
I don't know if he's on the hot seat. This was probably the most disappointing. I mean, I would imagine Bill Self is going to do a press conference and be like, I did a bad job coaching, but I also hated the fuck out of this team.
Yeah.
Because this was Kansas all year. They were up and down. They were supposed to be great. They struggled at times. They had some bad losses. And I think most Kansas fans saw this coming in the fact that they just weren't built for a long run. Again, also, it's the end of Hunter Dickinson's career. So
Perry Ellis still has a COVID year, though. He can come back.
He does. Here's a stat for you. Kansas had won 19 of 22 conference titles before Hunter Dickinson transferred to KU. In his 2 years there, the Jayhawks finished 5th and 6th, respectively. Moreover, they won one NCAA tournament game in this time there. Now, it is a little different because the Big 12 expanded. Mm-hmm. Houston got added. Arizona got added. So, and Houston's really fucking good.
Kansas, though.
It is Kansas. That's not the best. So he is. I think he's done.
He is done.
I think so.
I don't think that there's any sort of exploitable rule that they can do to bring him back. I don't know that they'd want him back. I think they're ready to move on from the Hunter Dickinson experiment.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Obviously, Bill Self not on the hot seat, but it's fun to have the conversation. The conversation's being had.
People should have the conversation. Then
Kansas also, they became the second AP preseason number 1 to lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament. You know who the other one was?
Who?
Also Kansas in 2005 to Bucknell.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I remember that game. Shit pumpings. There was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
UCLA shit pumped Utah State. That wasn't even close. That was it was close actually in the first half. I think it was a 25-23 game at one point, and the final score was 72-47. That was not shocking, but it was just like I thought Utah State would be a little bit more live.
It was just the guards for UCLA were so much bigger than the guards from Utah State. It looked like a high school team playing against them.
Purdue handled High Point very easily. I tried to tell Hank to take the under. He didn't listen to me.
Under vibes, though.
St. John's kicked the shit out of Omaha. St. John's is so funny because St. John's, they did this in the Big East tournament too, where they have to like go down to wake up and then just start bullying someone.
Yeah, they were down.
Omaha was up in the first half, and then St. John's was like, we're St. John's and you're not.
Yeah, right off the bat, when they missed 3-pointers, they really missed 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And I think they ended up shooting like a respectable percentage. I think it was probably in the mid-30s. So at the end of the day, you look at what they shot from 3 and you're like, okay, that's a pretty good day shooting. But when they miss, they airball 3-pointers.
Yeah, they ended up shooting 37.8%, which Rick Pitino would take that all day for St. John's and how they are not exactly a shooting team.
The thing I love about St. John's is that on defense, if a team is working the ball around, pump faking, getting guys to leave their feet, they pass it to the open guy. St. John's seems to have an unlimited amount of dudes on the floor running at the face.
Yeah.
Like and their rotation is so good on defense. They just keep cycling. There's always somebody running at your face. If you think you're about to take an open shot, you're not. And if you look at the offensive rebounds, I believe they lost the offensive rebounding battle, but they kicked the shit out of Omaha in second chance points.
Yeah.
And that's because Omaha, they would get an offensive rebound occasionally and then just get swatted into oblivion in the lane.
Yeah, the St. John's has, I mean, the way they play Patino defense, where everyone's hands are always active.
Yeah.
Every ball gets tipped. Nothing is easy. Just swinging the ball feels hard. And yeah, St. John's was definitely impressive in the second half. Houston squished SIU Edwardsville. Shout out SIU Edwardsville. Mm-hmm. Remember we learned the Big Show?
Yep, that's right. His
Big
rightful
Show.
university.
Yeah, so that's huge. Alabama struggled a little bit, or Auburn, struggled a little bit with Alabama State, but ended up winning pretty easily. Tennessee.
I was not
Wofford in the second half.
I was not super impressed with Auburn today.
No, they've had weird vibes. I mean, they finished the season losing 3 out of 4, and they were the number 1 overall seed. And yeah, it will be. So, like today,
Alabama State, they played so much harder than Auburn.
Yeah.
They were beating them to loose balls. They were picking up every 50-50 thing. Auburn didn't look like they had a fire lit under their ass before the game.
No.
Maybe Bruce Pearl will be able to start it, and they ended up winning by a good amount.
It won by 20, yeah.
It wasn't close at the end,
Yeah.
but I wasn't super impressed by it.
my Badgers handled business, even though the committee tried to fuck us with the early tip time and the altitude. I mean, that was thanks for coming out, Montana.
Yeah,
that wasn't very competitive.
Yeah, I don't think you guys even played your best game.
No, Klesmet was not good, and he's got to be good against BYU on Saturday. I'm trying to think
You see the tip times?
Are they out?
Yeah.
Give them to us. Because I was about to say.
What time do you think?
Like the games today, there weren't super memorable moments. This happens. You'll have a Thursday or Friday that's not like, oh my God, that was the craziest day ever. But then you look at Saturday, and you're like, holy shit, it's loaded. Give it to us.
12:10, McNeese versus Purdue.
Okay.
2:40, Arkansas versus St. John's.
Oh.
5:15, Michigan versus Texas A&M.
Ooh.
6:10, Drake versus Texas Tech. 7:10, Creighton versus Auburn. 7:45, BYU versus Wisconsin.
Okay, I like that. I like having. Are these Eastern Standard Time?
These are all Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Okay.
8:40, Gonzaga, Houston. 9:40, UCLA, Tennessee.
Piquet, what happens if the game keeps going to overtime and going to overtime and going to overtime and it gets into Sunday? Can BYU play?
6:45.
We should try to extend it.
Yeah.
Pull a fire alarm.
That would be a long game.
Yeah.
Really long game. Pull a fire alarm. I like having a night. I was worried that I didn't think they were going to do it because it's out. It's mountain time, but I was worried they were going to do like the second game. Need some rest. Get some rest. It's going to be a tough game. BYU's good. They fucking fill it up from 3. Mm-hmm. It's basically going to be the scariest game in terms of just any team can go on a run at any time with threes.
And we missed a fun fact. About BYU.
No, Max missed the fun
Max
fact.
missed the fun fact by BYU.
Maxwell missed the fun fact.
Because I heard that on the radio yesterday, and I was like, that's a big mistake on our part.
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to look up every fact
Well,
about
this
every
is
person?
this is
it's the
maybe the
coolest
funnest
fun
fact in
fact.
the
I
tournament.
looked up BYU fun facts.
What was your BYU fun fact?
Uh,
Was it as fun as this one?
no.
No.
I think it was just
And this is the funnest fact
They
ever.
spent $7 million on a player coming in next year.
That is fun.
Oh, that is fun.
What was
But
the fun
that's
fact that
probably
you missed?
money from the tater tots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it?
He's a
Say
tater
what the
tot
fact is.
trust
No,
fund
you
kid.
say what the fact is. You have BYU. You say it.
Richie Saunders, his great grandfather invented tater tots.
That's big time.
Awesome.
That's a sick fact.
That's quite a legacy.
That's
sick
a guy who, should have like a museum after him.
And did we talk about Jeff Sprouse? Did we already talk about?
No,
Jeff
but you
Sprouse?
should probably apologize to Jeff Sprouse.
Jeff Sprouse. I said.
What's your fun fact?
I said one play.
He did best player, worst player.
I did best player, worst player for like 6 of the teams, and then I only said one of the worst players, and it was Jeff Sprouse, who went 6 of 12 from 3 in the play-in game.
Yep.
He had 18. Yeah, he was
And
incredible.
we think that Jeff Sprouse probably listens to the show. He probably heard that.
Probably.
And you
someone
probably
from the Sprouse family.
Someone told it.
Yeah.
I got a reply from a Sprouse saying, admit that you don't know ball and only looked at the box scores. And I was like, I admitted that as
I think you said it. Yeah, you did
Not
say that.
even the box score, just the season-long
Yeah,
stats.
I pulled up the ESPN like stat line for every player, and I was like, these guys' numbers stink.
Yeah. All right. So apologies to Jeff Sprouse. We should also mention the reminder today was anytime everyone in the world is talking about one team, just go the other way, because I feel like that happened with two specific cases. Yale, everyone loved Yale.
Yep.
Texas A&M turns out still very good. Wade Taylor, very good. And then who was the other? Oh,
Michigan.
VCU BYU.
Oh, yeah.
VCU BYU was everyone was like VCU.
And
BYU
UC San
handled.
Diego too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
Michigan-
they covered
Michigan
the 3.5.
game, too.
I don't know what.
That got the.
Yeah, it started at 3.5. I don't know what UC San Diego was doing with that last possession. You have 14 seconds. You're down 3. I would like to try to extend the game a little and go to the rack and try to maybe get fouled there. I don't know.
Or
a fadeaway 3. It was a decent look, but it just you have one shot.
The play took so long to develop that you didn't give yourself an opportunity to get a rebound. You
Right.
didn't give yourself an opportunity for them to get a rebound and foul.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the game ended.
Yeah, try to get that off. You actually, it could have been even worse, I think, because you could have let Dusty May get enough time where he could then foul when you're on the floor and take away your opportunity to shoot a 3.
Yeah. And UC San Diego deserves credit. I mean, Michigan deserves credit for holding on and making big plays down the stretch. But UC San Diego, like, they were dead in the water in the first half. And they came out in the second half, and that first 5 minutes went on that run. That was some good tournament action that felt fun to watch.
Yeah, there was a lot of foul trouble in that game. That's the only thing.
It was not the best. Tate Jones fouled out with like 5 minutes left. That
Yeah, that was
wasn't
bad.
great. All right, what other? Do we miss anyone else?
Georgia Gonzaga.
Georgia didn't know how to play basketball.
Does Georgia have a basketball team?
They don't know how to play basketball. It continues for another year. I don't think I've ever seen for the start of a game. Now, Gonzaga deserves a lot of credit. Gonzaga is underseeded as an 8 seed. I think they are a lot better than an 8 seed. So they're not your typical 8 seed. That game started, and Georgia just didn't know how to dribble, pass, shoot, anything.
Yeah.
They're falling on all over themselves.
Georgia
it was
basketball
crazy.
also out of control when they tried to drive.
Yeah, there was also another. Was there another Georgia incident? Football?
2.
2. What happened?
One guy drove into a house.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you talking about
Was
a
it
garage?
his house?
No.
Oh.
And then the second one, which I think was the first one, was just a speeding ticket, but I can look it up.
It's funny because
It's insane.
when March Madness
It's
is
insane.
happening, other stories just don't happen because it was like a bingo card. We had another 2 Georgia driving incidents for
Yeah.
the football program. And then we had a very weird story from Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, some sort of spying. The former offensive coordinator.
Matt Weiss.
Yeah.
So I have it right here. According to the indictment, between approximately 2015 and January 2023, Weiss gained unauthorized access to student-athlete databases of more than 100 colleges and universities that were maintained by a third-party vendor. After gaining access to these databases, Weiss downloaded the personally identifiable information and medical data of more than 150,000 athletes. Using the information that he obtained from the student-athlete databases and his own internet research, Weiss was able to obtain access to the social media, email, and or cloud storage accounts of more than 2,000 target athletes. Weiss also illegally obtained access to social media, email, and cloud storage accounts of more than 1,300 additional students and or alumni from universities across the country. That's creepy.
That's crazy. He sounds like he's an anonymous, like an actual hacker.
That's nuts.
Can you blame Connor Stallions for this?
Connor Stallions was
you can
innocent,
try.
but this guy, not so much.
So I got it right here. Georgia wide receiver Nitro Tuggle, which
I mean, that guy,
He should be allowed to speed.
you can't name him that.
yeah.
He's going to speed.
He got charged.
He's gonna speed or he's gonna be an American Gladiator. One or the other.
Arrested on charges of reckless driving and speeding in Athens. And then on Monday,
when you recruit Nitro, and you're at Georgia,
and he's a wide receiver. It's like
you have to have like several conversations. Nitro, you're going to be under a microscope because your name is Nitro, and also you play football for me.
You need to give him a golf cart that goes 20 miles an hour tops,
or just get him a driver.
Yeah,
like we're going to get ahead of this problem, Nitro.
And then Georgia offensive lineman Marquise Easley reportedly crashed a car into an apartment complex Monday night, leading to a suspension today.
All gas, no brakes.
Interesting. I would assume if these guys are good at football, they'll be playing in September.
But like, what do you think they like? What like how? After the 20th time it happens, do you think at any point, do you think they joke about it? Because that's what it seems like. They're like, all right, this is just our thing here.
They have an office pool.
I don't think Kirby jokes about it. I think some of the guys on the staff definitely joke about it, being like, you got to be fucking shitting me.
I do think you can point at Kirby Smart and be like, dude, you need to do a better job of making the local police in your pocket, like Urban Meyer did in Jacksonville.
But these guys are crashing into apartment buildings.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do there. The speeding one,
The speeding one.
You could put that under the cops got to be like, all right, it's a speeding ticket.
Yeah, but Georgia's.
But I think they've had. I think they've had. Yeah, and they've also had so many incidents where it's like, I think the police have to be like, we have to start reporting this.
Yeah, like
we've covered up a lot, but when you're going 140, we got to report.
Take their licenses.
Yeah, when Nitro pulls into the first,
but Nitro,
he pulls into the first day of practice.
Should get a pass. His
Yeah,
name
he
is
should.
Nitro.
His name's
But
Nitro.
when you're Kirby Smart and you see Nitro pull up to the facility day one, probably in a Dodge Hellcat, you have to be like, hey, Nitro, you're not driving. I'm sorry, you're just not.
Yeah. Also, we got another story we had was T. Higgins' contract. The details. Mm-hmm. This is pretty smart by the Bengals, it seems like. So I'm reading from Florio's broke it down. Of course he did. Florio's not watching basketball. He's breaking down contracts. Nothing in 2025 is guaranteed. However, the $20 million roster bonus is earned 5 days after Higgins puts pen to paper. So I assume he's going to earn that. That's actually a dangerous time to earn it, right during March Madness. Mm-hmm. The only true full guarantee at signing is the $10 million 2026 offseason roster bonus. The Bengals have, as a practical matter, a year-to-year option. They can pay him $35.9 million for 2025 if he dresses for every game and earns the $2 million in per game roster bonuses, and they can move on before the 2026 base salary becomes fully guaranteed. It's not guaranteed for injury.
So it's not even a 2-year contract. It's
a 1 year.
1 year contract for a good amount of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Because the $10 million guaranteed 2026 roster bonus has offset language, they likely owe him nothing if they cut him after 1 year, since he'd likely make more elsewhere.
Yeah, I was wondering how they were able to, because they said that they were going to keep, obviously, T. Higgins. They're keeping Jamar Chase. They said they were going to try to keep Trey Hendrickson, too, if they can. I had no idea how any of that was going to work out. But
this is a fake contract.
He's getting a lot of money this year over what would have been the franchise tag.
Correct.
So he's getting a nice raise that's guaranteed for one. It's like he got a mega franchise tag.
And I guess there's structure that if they want to keep him next year, they don't have to go back and do this all again.
But essentially, he got mega tagged.
Yeah, he got mega tagged. That was interesting, though.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Anything else from the sports world that we might have missed?
Scotty Scheffler's Masters dinner.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much the same as it was 2 years ago, right?
He ran it back pretty much.
Except he didn't do the tortilla soup because he told us on PMT that the soup was too spicy for some of the old timers that were there, and it made their tum-tums hurt.
Yeah.
So out of respect for them, he was like, okay, I won't give you diarrhea this year.
Yeah.
And he added a little homage to how he cut his finger.
Oh.
What was it? Tortellini?
Oh, yeah. The it's
ravioli bites. So that's what he was making when he cut his finger.
Yeah.
So he added the ravioli bites.
With meatball.
Yeah.
I feel like
that's a nice touch.
Yeah, that is.
A little joke, haha.
I could see Scotty Scheffler playing some football at Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You're right up his alley.
Also, I know we did Mark Pope dirty.
25 arrests, by the way, in 2 years.
That's crazy. That's nuts. Got to lead the league.
23 wins.
Damn. Get those numbers up, Kirby. Not the arrest.
And like, there's got to be so much stuff that gets swept under the rug.
Oh, yeah.
All I'll say is they have so many arrests at college. They make their way to the NFL. They play for the Eagles. They don't get in trouble because they got Big Dom.
Big Dom.
Making sure everyone stays high and tight.
That would be very funny if Kirby Smart brought in Big Dom and be like, how do you do it?
Yeah, he should.
How do you do it?
0 suspensions, least in the NFL.
There you go.
I gotta find that graphic.
Yeah, are you sure that's true?
100% true.
Mark Pope, I know it was a little cringeworthy that we played his rap on Wednesday. But shout out Mark Pope. This is a pretty cool story. He's paying gas money to any Kentucky fans that drive to Milwaukee.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So our friend Matt Jones posted proof of it. Someone from Mark Pope's office basically being like all you do is email and say you're coming, show that you have tickets and that you're a Kentucky fan, and then they email you back, and they're like, as long as you can prove that no one's between the 9th and 12th grade, because that would technically be like a violation of recruitment, they'll Venmo you money, a flat gas rate.
Good guy.
Pretty awesome.
I like Mark Pope.
That's a cool thing to do. So Big Blue Nation should be showing up to Milwaukee.
Love that.
What do you got, Max?
Nothing. I just sent the graphic of 0 suspensions.
Oh, you're
yeah.
pretty happy.
Did you make the graphic?
No, dove climbing.
You've been suspended, though.
From what?
Well, you had to take the test.
You had to take the test.
Yeah, the thing.
You had to take the test.
Big Dom wasn't happy I took that test.
And the time you didn't push the button.
I didn't get suspended.
You got, if you don't push the button again, you get soul patch.
You self-suspended.
Did I I vacation? Yeah, I guess that.
I'm so excited for more basketball tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
It's the best. It's just like an entire day. I realized today that I was just sitting in the same spot for 12 hours, and it was awesome.
I'm going to put on the old Apple Watch tomorrow, see how many steps I take.
There you go.
I'm guessing it's maybe double figures, maybe like 70 steps.
It's also, this hit me at the beginning of the day. It's crazy that when there's one game on, you find yourself being like, where the fuck are all the games? Mm-hmm. I need all the games.
It's boring.
Right now. Yeah. I can't watch one game. I need 4 games going at the same exact time.
There was a moment, though, when I think the first time there were 3 games on at once, it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so much for me to pay attention to right now.
Also, maybe shout out to TBS, CBS, Turner, True TV, whoever else it is. They did kind of fix the scoreboard for a little bit. I don't understand how it's still an issue. And when I'm saying this, I mean, if you're watching 4 games at once, half the time you see the scoreboard on one game and it will be ahead of the actual game you're watching.
Yeah, my guess is they have some sort of a live feed plugged directly into the scores table. So, like, when the scoreboard at the arena changes, that gets fed into the other TV channel.
Just pause it.
Just pause that.
Just fucking hit pause. I don't want to be spoiled. Like the beginning of the day.
You have a problem with it. I don't have a problem because I can not look at the scores in the top.
The problem is if you know what's happening and your team's playing. Like when Wisconsin was playing, I had to look at the score to be like Montana would come down the court and be like, oh shit, are they about to hit a 3? And I'd look because I like if I know it's there, I'm gonna look. Mm-hmm. So that's why I can't stop myself. You looking at me, Max?
Yeah, I noticed that was a thing. Earlier today, but I thought
they
that was
fixed
just because
it.
we were watching it on YouTube TV.
No, I think they did. I tweeted. I was pretty mean about it. I said I'd skull fuck all of them, and then it did look like they actually. Jeff D'Lo texted me and said it looked like they paused it in real time. You could see it pause. So, but then it kind of it was like laggy a couple places. Just figure it out. Don't let it spoil us. If I know there's a spoiler in front of my face, I'm going to look at it. That's my problem. Also,
tell you what happened in Severance?
No. Did you watch?
Yep.
You motherfucker. All right, so Fyre Fest. So we're going to do our Mount Rushmore, and then we're going to do Stanford Steve, and then our Fyre Fest. And there are Severance spoilers in the Fyre Fest. When I say that, none of us in this room have watched the finale, so there's no spoilers on the finale. It's just we talked about what could happen in the finale, because we have not seen it, and we were talking about the fact that it's hard to watch Severance when there's all these games going on. So if you're a couple episodes behind, you could skip Fyre Fest. If you haven't watched the finale, you won't be spoiled at all.
Yeah,
because if you're at the finale, we have not watched it, so we literally cannot spoil it because we don't know.
Yeah, and our guesses of what's going to happen probably will make you dumber.
Yeah.
And less likely to figure out what's going to happen.
Our theories are really stupid, but it's still fun talk. We don't really do a bunch of TV talk.
Yeah.
We're all watching it.
Miss Wong, brain of an adult.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler.
She doesn't, though.
We don't think so.
I don't know.
We're just doing it again. All right. Mount Rushmore, Stanford Steve, Fyre Fest. And then we'll see everyone on Monday to recap everything. Okay, before we get to Stanford Steve and our Mount Rushmore of March Madness things, game time. Hank, can you pull up some games maybe for today, Friday, as the people are listening? The best part of college basketball is here, and we know you're as excited as we are to watch some big upsets throughout the tournament. While we're streaming in the cave, you can get out to see the action in person with Game Time, the official ticketing partner, Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, the Game Time Picks feature makes it even easier to find the great deals of the seats you want. You can even find last-minute tickets for the tournament for up to 60% off quickly and easily. Just pull up your chosen event, turn on GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deal near you on your Game Time app homepage. We're looking at, Hank?
Milwaukee, you can get in for as low as $114.
Love it. So I think Kentucky's playing there. Illinois is playing there. So go check out some games there. They've got great curated deals for all tiers of tickets. And you know you're getting the top option when you see the super deal icon. What are you waiting for? Go to the Fyre Arena. Watch the Kentucky Wildcats, the Illini. With Game Time Picks, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Okay, we're going to do rapid fire Mount Rushmore March Madness things. Who wants to go first? Hank?
Let Hank go first.
Okay, Hank. Hank.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Loser of this Mount Rushmore can't watch for the entire weekend.
Let me pull up my notes. Apologies.
What?
We're not doing that.
No, I know, obviously.
Which way are we going?
Don't we always go this
Clockwise,
way?
yeah.
Okay. Hank.
Hitting an underdog money line.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good one.
Not working on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
See, I would say skipping work and or school.
Yeah.
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 School is also, you're working at school. You're just not doing anything Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
I'm going to say saying my bracket's busted. Because you fucked it too hard.
Yeah,
so
I had ripping up your
busted.
bracket.
Yeah.
Same thing.
My bracket busted.
Busted.
Yeah.
My first two picks survived buzzer beaters and crazy upsets. So you always remember when there's a crazy upset, when there's a 15 seed, a 16 seed, 16 seed where like I can actually close my eyes and see the Purdue, just Dave screaming FDU is too small for them.
Or just Virginia.
Yeah. Those are my favorite.
All right, my second pick is going to be One Shining Moment.
Ooh.
Yep.
The ball is
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Where you are.
I'm going to
For
go.
life. You're a shooting star. One shining moment. Reach for the stars. One shining moment. One shining
More tournament theme
moment. I actually don't like One Shining Moment because it's sad for me because it's over.
It's more than a contest.
Like it's always the end where I'm like,
It's more
oh, that was a lot of fun. I wish I could do that again.
But it hits you in the feels.
It
hits
does,
you in
but
the-
I just like I kind of got it hits me in like the feels like, man, I really should have enjoyed this a little more.
It's kind of sad too. It says you always did your best because inside you knew that one shining moment you reached deep inside. One shining moment you knew you were alive. Like,
You were
implying that you don't know that.
That
Like
sounds
the rest of your life stinks.
That sounds like something Rickon would write in one of his books.
Yeah.
That That's a little preview for our Severance talk after Stanford Steve.
It's too much frolic.
That was the greatest Severance preview that happened after the fact.
Yeah, yeah. We're just if you're watching Severance right now, and you're behind, there could potentially be spoilers,
but really not.
but really not because we haven't seen the finale, and also we're dumb. So okay, who's up?
I'm up. Printing out your bracket on Sunday.
Yeah, feeling
the paper in your
touching
hands.
it. Yeah. Okay.
My list sucks. Sideline reporters,
Hank,
parentheses, bonk.
I had. Wait, say it again.
Sideline reporters.
You love John Rothstein.
Sideline reporters.
Yeah, the females.
Females.
And I guess John Rothstein, good one too. And then my other one is the camera on a dolly that they use for the Final Four. That's like I love that. Favorite shot in sports. They show them running down the sidelines.
That buzzer beater was sweet, yeah.
And the camera's following them. They only use it for the Final Four.
Oh, I got you. I know what you're saying.
I don't like it live, but I like the replays.
I love it.
Yeah, I do like that.
They should use that.
They got to switch it though before a shot takes place.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll do the bad angle schmangle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Max?
Riding a group bet with the boys.
Yes, had it on
Yep.
there. Great call. PFT.
I'm going to go with cutting down nets.
Good one.
Cutting down nets. Iconic.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with crying fans. Love that shit. It's always awesome.
That is
Fluke
good.
girl, Northwestern kid. There's just always the sad Ram, the Colorado State Ram.
Yeah.
Just iconic moments. And I'm going to go with a gambling one. I love the rogue foul when a team shouldn't be fouling anymore, and then one tryhard is like, I'm just going to foul one last time, and then you can cover a spread or hit an over. It's something about the kids.
They don't look at the coach before.
They just, because you always
like,
got it in the back of
This
your
isn't
head.
over yet. It's not
Yeah.
over.
There's like 10 seconds left. You're like, if we could just get one guy who just is a little too eager, we could get back to the free throw line.
My last one, I'm going to go with. I'm choosing between two. This one no longer applies, but it was such a big part of March Madness for a while. I'm going to include it. Impractical Jokers commercials.
I had Finding True TV.
Yeah, Finding True
Yeah.
TV. That was the other one I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Dude.
that's
Talking about, I saw a Twitter thread today about, and it kind of triggered my memory that way back in like the 90s, we only got to watch one game, and they would just have a live look-in for the other games
Yeah.
going on. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that they did do back in the day that I wish they'd bring back, there was like a like hour dinner window where they wouldn't have a game. It was awesome
Yeah.
on Thursday and Friday.
Let the
I
dog
hated
out.
that.
Oh, I love that. You just go outside and get a little fresh air.
But then like
do that?
you're
No, they don't. They're staggered. You'll see.
I thought there was still that like 5 to 6.
There's less games in the spot, but it's not. I don't think there'll be a moment where there's not a game on. There's a 3:35 tip today and a 5:50 tip. Those aren't. So they used to have like an actual. We can go eat dinner or go outside. Okay, Max.
I'll go with
What was that memes?
I just thought it was funny.
Oh, just going outside.
I'll go with Raft. Bill Rafter.
Yeah.
Good call.
I was gonna
Onions.
Yeah, onions.
Double order.
Man to man.
I'll just go with memorizing commercials to the point where you can guess. Like, I feel like there's been March Madness where I'll just sit and just like guess what commercial comes
Hank
next.
is in mid-season form right
Yeah.
now. with this Rushmore.
He's gonna blame us. He's gonna blame us.
Yep.
We weren't even whatever. Fuck
Memorizing
off. I don't care. I don't really give a shit.
No, I mean there's usually one very annoying.
I said my
commercial.
list sucked at the top. I prefaced it.
Sideline reporters bonk.
I love it. Hank, I
I like it, Hank. I support that.
one of my friends
This
texted
one doesn't
me.
even mean anything.
One of my friends texted me
But he
yesterday.
still lost.
He was just like F- from Hank on Sunday for your hangover day. I laughed so hard.
I did my best. I
You
showed
did.
up.
That was a good list, Hank. What was your picks? The camera,
I mean, it's a sick camera.
hot
though.
reporters, the camera,
Memorizing commercials.
memorizing commercials.
Winning
That's what everyone thinks of when they think
underdog
of March.
money line.
Underdog money
money
line.
Money line. That one. That's good.
Yeah. We have missed wings.
Yep.
Oh,
beer.
sneakers squeaking. I just like sneakers squeaking.
But you guys are just describing like
It's a Mount Rushmore of March moments, Hank.
I said
wings. That's
Yeah.
every week for you.
that was honorable mention.
I thought about. I almost said day drinking, but then I was like,
like riding
you
a
can
bet
day
with your
drink
boys.
for
That's
any
every
more.
fucking Sunday. Like
No, but
No,
March
these aren't
yeah.
March.
He isn't.
Oh yeah,
You don't get it.
He isn't-
You guys pick the most general fucking things, and then are like, "Oh, March
He is in
Madness.
mid-season
I like
form,
to sit on the
getting
couch
mad
and
at
watch
us.
sports."
What about instead
I
day
love
Oh,
drinking.
my
drinking?
favorite part of March is gambling. Like, you
Yes,
gamble
that's what-
every
yes,
fucking
That's what you
day,
said.
though.
That's what you said for your first pick.
Yeah, your first pick was
Underdog
underdog
money
money line. You got it every day.
That was literally your. You've made a brand off that
All right,
for
let's wrap
football.
this up.
Max, I think you're right with the day drinking, except you got to specify, like, I think when I think of March, I think of drinking out of
My
those
favorite part
giant
of March is
tubes.
going to the bar
The
with
big
my
beer
friends.
tubes.
The towers.
The
The
towers,
That's
yeah.
a good,
Beer tower in March.
Sitting at like
Yeah.
at like a chain at like a Chili's and just
Yes,
getting
beer tower.
ripping beer towers.
Yeah, Jimmy V running around the court hugging somebody.
Yeah.
My favorite part of March is Friday because it means it's the weekend.
Well, no. Oh,
Vasectomies.
wait, hold on. What did you say? Friday's the weekend?
Oh no, this was fun. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we did this.
That's the best. We've been doing this show for so long that like if you try to say one thing, you just trigger a memory to get back into another argument.
You can't come back from that now, Hank. We were right. Say that we were right.
It means, yeah, whatever.
There's layers to this shit,
Whatever.
man. There's levels.
Friday's not the weekend. It was one of the more preposterous states.
It's the craziest thing ever. It starts at 12:01. The only other one I love when watching a team that's never seen a press. It just always makes me laugh. When you can just you can get like we can get 8 quick points here. Because they've literally never played
Sometimes I
against
see
press.
that and I'm like, why don't teams just do this all game?
Yeah.
like
They just get tired.
Seton Hall is honestly a
Shaka.
perfect example. Seton Hall is a horrible basketball team, great at press.
Yeah. Pug's nodding his head.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. All right, Hank, so you somehow lost this Mount Rushmore and a previous argument that we had for a long time.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Purdue under.
All right, let's get to Stanford Steve. Okay, before we get to Stanford Steve and some winners for Friday, we are brought to you by our friends at Truly. Truly Hard Seltzer is the first high ABV hard seltzer that actually tastes good. Truly Unruly is a hard seltzer that breaks all the rules. Drinks light, parties hard. With 8% ABV, it hits hard but still tastes amazing. Listen, this is one of the best weekends of the year. It's time for a Truly Unruly. Comes in 4 fresh flavors: Tropical Twist, Berry Blast, Citrus Crush, Strawberry Smash. It's the official hard seltzer, pardon my take. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit www.trulyhardseltzer.com. Trulyhardseltzer.com. Like I said, they've got great flavors, 8% ABV. It hits hard but still tastes amazing. Go try that Strawberry Smash. I love it. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. We're also brought to you by our friends at Chevy. You guys know Chevy's been with us for a long time. Chevy has packed more capability into the Silverado Trail Boss so that you can pack more fun into your weekend. Have yourself a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the truck that says no to nothing. Tailgates, spontaneous camping trips, DIY projects, bring it on. What about cross-country road trips? Silverado was the perfect ride for last year's Grit Week out west. Recently, they helped us give fullbacks the recognition they deserve with the Low Man Award. Well, the Silverado Trail Boss is built like a fullback. We're talking 495 pounds of foot of torque. Hold on to your sodas, Max. Plus, the Trail Boss gives you an extra 2-inch lift, so maybe Hank can finally dunk. Silverado brings the grit, then pairs it with the latest truck tech inside and out. The result? A truck that can do it all. Then show up on Monday with a story to tell. So learn more about the Silverado Trail Boss at Chevy.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Okay, here he is, our good friend, Stanford Steve. Okay, we now welcome on a very, 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 very special guest. He is our good friend, best friend, Stanford Steve. We're going to talk Friday's slate because this is going to come out on Friday morning when people are licking their wounds from the first day of the tournament. Chaos everywhere. Steve, let me start with this before we get into the games. What's the setup?
I got a couple things.
Yeah, what? All right, yeah, I want to hear your things, but what's the setup for Stanford Steve for the tournament?
Oh, Well, earlier in the week, we'll have had our Calcutta pool, which is a giant auction. It's actually, I mean, if you got a group of guys and big money, it's a different way to do the tournament. And what you do is every team has a number. There's no cap or nothing. And I want to say UConn, like last year, went for 35, 40K. Like it was around there. So there's probably 10 to 15 teams every year that get in. We do that Wednesday night, and then I'm actually hanging out in Dewey Beach. Starboard,
Nice.
Starboard Raw, Nalu, the whole deal. We'll be there. Family's coming over Friday, so it's kind of scary because we go over there so many times during the summer. But I always have my wife and kids. As this drops, I'll be wondering how I'm doing because I'm going to have Thursday to myself.
No, I love it. I love it.
Wait.
Is this spring break season?
No, see, down here, my kid's spring break is late. Like, it's the week after the Masters.
Oh.
So it's all screwed up.
Wait, when you said by yourself on Thursday, do you mean your wife's not going to be around or?
Correct.
Oh, you're fucked.
Why?
So you going to have the kids or no?
No.
Oh, okay, all right, good. I thought you meant you had the kids and no wife. I was like, what are you doing, Steve? All right, and then, so my other question about the setup, how do you navigate text messages, calls, whatever, to our friend Scott if things go poorly with Maryland? Because we know I actually got to see Super Bowl week. I got to see the inside look of it because Steve and I were hanging out, and he had to go do a hit on SportsCenter, which he's on every night. And before the hit was Ohio State versus Maryland, and Maryland lost in a buzzer beater. And everyone, all the producers were watching the game being like, oh, fuck, because they knew that it will change the mood of our good friend Scott Van Pelt. So how do you navigate that?
I will wait to hear from him.
Okay.
This I mean, Saturday was so tough, knowing that the juice is back here in the DMV for the Terps, and he was on vacation, and I didn't reach out. And this is probably, and I don't think we texted until I got to or saw him until we did the podcast Monday. So I could see him having to deal with things differently because he was with all family members, and he was with his family. His other side of the family is all Florida people. So I as much as I wanted to, I've been there before, and I know that I will wait to be spoken to, and that's how I handled that.
Okay,
that's smart. The other thing I wanted to get to real quick was kind of a revisiting of our wing date that we had last year with Mark Titus. So Mark, he ate chicken wings because he's proven he's one of the boys, right? Like Mark can hang. That's what he does.
In.
So he ate, I think, 10, maybe 12 wings, and he was out for the next, 2 days?
3 days.
3 days? He had to call in. He had to call in wings.
72 hours.
Yeah. He looked like death.
Yeah.
Yeah, like is it that he's that healthy where you put a little fried food and good sauce in you and that's what it does to you?
That's the Cali boy. Yeah, you can eat wings and go out for seconds. You can have dessert.
Yeah.
You get so much sand between your toes when you're in California too long. Things start happening. Your body starts getting affected outside in, whereas we're building it from the inside out.
Right.
Yeah.
Where we have that strength, that inner strength.
That's our version of playing in
know,
altitude.
Yeah,
right.
You just keep adding layers from the inside out.
Yeah. If you made me eat like Mark for an entire week where it's like salads, I'd wither away. I'd probably a strong wind would take me.
I would tap out.
I couldn't do it.
I'm out.
All right, what do you have for us?
I wasn't sure. Are we going to talk about the Crown? Because I saw Villanova made the Crown.
Crown is huge. Max, plug your headphones. Put your headphones back on. Max, we got a Crown question from Steve.
Crown. Do you like Villanova's draw?
Sure. We don't have a coach. We're focused on bringing in a coach. Maybe Kevin Willard from Maryland.
Oh.
Don't say that down here. Don't say that down here. Oh, man.
I heard he hasn't signed the extension yet. That's all I'm saying. I heard he hasn't signed the extension yet.
All right. Well, you got pretty good sources, it sounds like. But also, Max, I'm going through the bracket, and there's no teams from the great state of city from Philadelphia. Like, no, not one. Like this hotbed. The Palestra you always hear about. I think it's 3 straight years, no teams from Philadelphia. Is that right?
Whoa.
Yeah, well, that's 3 straight years of Villanova not being there to carry the Big Five. So that's everyone
That's almost half a decade.
I know.
It's a long time.
I know.
It's close
I
to
know.
half a decade.
The SEC took all Philly swagger.
Yeah,
That's bad.
for sure.
That's really bad.
This is a combination too, because I do want to congratulate Max. I saw him the night before the Super Bowl, and I just told him, try and enjoy it, and he had nothing. He was on one, and I just want to say congratulations to Max because I know how invested he is. But I do. Then I started thinking, guys, like we've come a long way at Super Bowl week, like hanging out, like. The green light guys are on another level, and like they basically hosted us all week, and they were great. But it was great. Dan and I had a romantic dinner next to a guy who didn't say a word and wouldn't move, and no one knew who he was. But we moved on. But like having like no injuries, no fatalities, and I just keep going back, guys, to that house you guys had in Houston.
Yeah.
Do you remember the debauchery of that house? Of people, I mean, there were some big time people there, and they didn't care what they were doing. I mean, Hank was a little pipsqueak back then too.
Yep.
But like we've matured. Like PFT, we were out, hanging out. I never know where you're going to show up, but you always do.
Yeah.
And I really feel like we've grown for Super Bowl. Like our intake is way more established, and we know what we're doing now.
Yeah, the pacing is a lot better.
Yeah.
I was surprised that Russillo was he was the maniac this Super Bowl week. I felt like every time I ran into you, Russillo was coming in at like 2 a.m., closing the shop down, telling stories about getting into a fight with Warren Sapp, just like holding court in front of the entire house. Russillo's got a second wind in life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because then you know what? There's no taking the air out of that sail. The second wind too.
Yeah.
No.
That thing just goes, keeps going. But yeah, I think we've come a long way. And like I compared Dan at the Super Bowl to Duke. Like Duke. I'm a Duke fan, and these Duke teams, whether it's Zion's team, Jason Tatum's team, I love those teams, but I always wanted more. And, like, to get Dan solo for our romantic dinner,
it was nice.
Like, he had nowhere to go. Like, it was just me. So it was like, all right, you ready for another one? Yep. And Dan, he was a trooper. I give him all the credit.
Listen, I wish we could do Super Bowl week in reverse where it's like I have all the energy in the world on Sunday and Monday, and then by the end of the week, it's just zapped. I think about it because, like, it's what it is, too? It's that we do these live shows after a full day of everything else where, like, we finish the day and it's 5 o'clock, and then we got to go sit in a bar and do a live show, and I love it, but then I'm just like, get me to a bed where I can just sit and watch your Stanford Cardinal play at, like, midnight. That's the thing. Russillo tries to give me shit. He's like, oh, you're out, like, hobnobbing with people and, like, star fucking. No, it's like, dude, I'm just losing thousands of dollars watching ACC basketball in California. That's what I'm doing. So it was a good week, though.
Yeah. No, it fantastic. It always lives up. We got our crew, and but I have to say, like, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
That house you guys had, man. Oh, man.
I mean, Loud Sean almost died. He almost drowned. He just got in the pool. He was trying to play one-on-one with Jared Goff, and then he got in the pool and almost died.
Glenny Ball's passing out every night at about 11 p.m. in the chair with a beer in one hand and the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah, NFL quarterbacks had a weekend there, boys.
Yeah,
they did.
Oh, my God.
The best was Jared Goff called me the next morning and was like, do you know where Blake is, Blake Bortles? I was like, what?
Oh, boy.
Why would I know? And it's like, why are you calling me to ask where Blake Bortles is? They had a flight to catch.
Steve, real quick, though, before we get into the bracket, you gave Max some shit for the crown. How are you feeling about our Cardinal and the NIT? I picked you guys to win it all.
Nice.
Actually, no, I did. I picked George Mason over you. But you guys, I got you guys going a long way.
Big win over CSUN last night. Love our coach. Almost came close to 20 wins. Had Louisville on the ropes. Bad whistle in the ACC tournament. But when you have to travel from Palo Alto to play in Charlotte in your conference tournament, you're going to get those kinds of things. So, no, we're on the up. We're on the up. We actually had people at the game for the NIT. Haven't seen that in about 15 years. So it's a process. We're moving along. We got Andrew in charge of football. That'll shed light on everything else. So we're good on the farm.
Love that. All right, let's get into some games. So this first game on Friday is, I'm going to say, it's the most important game for everyone listening right now because you went through Thursday. You probably got your teeth kicked in. Every March Madness goes the same for me. I go in Thursday morning with a well thought out plan. About 30 minutes into the day, the plan goes out the window. I get absolutely smoked, But then you have Friday to wake up and be like, all right, pick yourself up off the mat. Let's do this. And the first game is actually like, it's a great game in the fact that it's a 1.5 point spread. It's Baylor, Mississippi State. I feel like Baylor had the type of season where I was always expecting, kind of like what you're saying, wanting more. I always wanted more from Baylor. And Mississippi State is one of those teams, like I love Hubbard. Their defense is very bad. So give us a win. We need a winner in this first game.
First of all, when you wake up today, make sure you brush your teeth and look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it today. It's the most important part of the day to be happy with yourself when you're brushing your teeth and looking yourself in the mirror. Have that confidence. It starts right there. This is the toughest game of the day, I believe.
Yeah, no.
Like Hubbard has no conscience. Like he leads, I think he shoots over 9 threes a game. And Baylor, to your point, Dan, I always look at that. And you look at the 8s and 9s in this tournament. It's all in the 7 and 10, there's all the previous national champions, and Baylor's in that category. I love Edgecombe. But again, you wanted more from Baylor. The thing that Baylor does, they play zone over 20% of the time, and Hubbard will just shoot over it. So it's all about Hubbard making shots. I do trust Stans in this spot, and Drew has been hot and cold in this kind of deal. But Dan, the other part, and you love conspiracy theories, Baylor's point guard, Jeremy Roach, where he played the last 4 years.
Duke.
Against Duke.
Nova guy.
Makes me think there's something cooking in the book, seeing how, the bracket got set. But I'll stick with the SEC. I'm going to go Mississippi State. Stans' style of play, I believe it frustrates Baylor.
Okay,
bad pick, but I respect your right
yeah,
to
these
make
guys
it.
have
Yeah.
Baylor in the Experian Busters pool that we have, so they'll be rooting for Baylor. Mm-hmm. This is one of those games, and I know you know this, Steve, from doing it forever. I just have this chalked as no matter what, loss.
Yes.
I'm going to pick whatever side. It doesn't matter, whichever side. I'm not saying I have a strong lean either way. Whatever side I end up on, that's a loss.
No, and the problem is that's how I feel about all the 7-10s this year too.
Yeah.
I think like Scott and I talked about, he loves the 8-9 matchups because the namesake. And I just look at trying to pick games, and I'm like, I hate the 7-10s more than the 8-9s. But yeah, it'll kick us off. The tempo's the whole thing in that game. Baylor likes to get up and down. Mississippi State is good playing slower, so I can't even give you a total there because it's about who dictates tempo.
Okay.
So the 12-5 game, Colorado State, Memphis. I feel like everybody's picking Colorado State. They are the favorite in this game.
Yeah.
It's like this one and then the Michigan-San Diego game. Those are people are going back and forth between those over the most likely 12-5 upset. I feel like this one, we've talked about Memphis, that the fact that they got a 5 seed is very puzzling. It's really strange. And Colorado State is probably the hottest team. So I like Colorado State, but now I'm double guessing myself, and I'm like, oh, I've heard so many other people say Colorado State, where now they're becoming a trendy pick to make, so maybe I should go Memphis.
Understood. The Hunter injury is enormous. He's a kid that's played at Texas, Iowa State, plenty of experience. The reason Memphis got a 5 is because what they did in the out-of-conference. They went to Maui and I believe went all the way to the final, beat UConn, beat a bunch of teams out there. And I actually love what Penny has done. Obviously, you carry around the name Penny Hardaway in that area. There's nothing bigger. And he basically fired his whole staff before the season. It was like, we got to change some things because this ain't working. And they've had a great season. The issue with this game is it's an automatic loss for me because Maryland's in the next round. So I would tend like San Diego State, you saw that Mountain West, like not great, but is that a 1-game scenario? Mountain West teams, I'm sure you guys know this, when seeded 11 or lower going into San Diego State's game Tuesday night, were 1-29 in their last 30. Now they're 1-30. So it Vegas obviously is dictating here because the 12's favored over the 5. I still think, as a player, like I said, I have Maryland advancing anyway. I would just take the 12 here so you have your 12-5.
Yeah. Okay. Dumb thing I'm thinking about doing, and I want you to assess. Oklahoma and UConn is a good game on paper here on Friday. The total sits at 147.5. I'm going to take the over in this game, and here's why. I know I always take overs, but listen, I'm not going to bet an under in this tournament. I'm sure they'll inflate the balls.
Not one?
Maybe a first half under, because I don't want it. So that leads to my point. Maybe a first half under because I don't want to get stuck in the free
start
throws.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, the free throws. Yeah, the free throws at the end of games are crazy. UConn and Oklahoma are both elite free throw shooting teams. I think UConn's 11. I think Oklahoma's like somewhere in 6 or 7. Is it crazy to be like, hey, this is a game where like maybe the over's a little too low here, not accounting for the fact that if this is a tight game, which the spread says it should be, we're gonna get a lot of trips to the line, and both these teams know how to make their free throws.
Did you bet it yet?
I have not.
Okay, because I heard you guys and Titus talking about the ball. Friday we get a whole day of seeing the balls. Thursday. Right. So that's key, obviously, with the issues that we've seen in balls taking caroms we've never seen. But I have more of the belief that's because of a backboard and brand new rims for every site. I love the over here.
Okay.
Love it. Both teams are going to be guns blazing. UConn, we know the intensity is going to be there. Hurley will have those guys ready. The issue is UConn against good guards, and that's the toughest thing with UConn this year. Forever in my life growing up there, they've had a point guard that just makes plays and can get to the hoop and make shots forever, and they don't have it this year. But on the other side, that's what even hurts them even more is they've really struggled defending good point guards. And Fyre for Oklahoma is tremendous. This will be an up-tempo game. I think Oklahoma likes to play that style, and UConn, could get caught up. It feels like every game you watch them, there's a 10-0 run each way, and then it's just how are they going to respond? So Oklahoma's been really good, unbelievable cover at the end of that SEC tournament against Kentucky. I mean, they had them on the ropes. But yeah, I love the over in this game. The point spread's getting crazy high.
Yeah,
loved. I mean, I thought I saw UConn when it opened. I was thinking I took a -3, and now I'm seeing like 5.5.
5.5.
So that scares me off there. But I expect UConn to win the game. But I really like your over there.
All right, I by the way, I just put it in because I was like, basically like if you said even I kind of like it, I would have put it in. But you said you really like it.
He was waiting for you to say "fuck you, you're crazy," and then he wouldn't have put it in.
Yeah.
That's the kind of direct action he needs.
If Steven said "fuck you, you're crazy," I would have waited until right before tip to put it in. The fact that he said I like it, I put it in now.
Got it.
I wouldn't. It was going in no matter what.
Steve, I had a question for you about that. So you were saying like we'll see one day of balls on Thursday, and then on Friday we can adjust our bets based on what we saw Thursday. Historically, do you know how that works out? Like if there's a trend on Thursday where the under is hitting at a 70% clip, does that hold over through Friday, or do the bookmakers adjust overnight for that?
Well, the one year I will go back that I joined you on the Sunday before the tournament, on Selection Sunday, I believe, or it was the day after, and then that spot got hijacked. I was just going to – I think I gave out first half unders that day, and it crushed. Like, I think it started 8-0.
Yep.
And I kind of tapped out after that because I was like, I'll take 8-0 because there's that little space before the night games, and I'm like, I'm good with 8-0 on the unders. You could have this. But it feels like it comes around. On Friday, it balances out. It always does. If there was that crazy of a trend, the crazy tournament bettors would have it. But I look at more of the teams, PFT, and I'm going down this Friday. So I see a lot of teams that Dan has rode overs of, and I do expect a lot of points on Friday.
Yeah, I think like Norfolk, Florida, which we don't have to spend a lot of time on 116. I think Florida names their number. Like, as long as they're going.
And their team total's like 91.5.
But I don't think it matters. Norfolk's going to try to zone them, which they'll hit threes, they'll rebound. Like, that's going to be a disaster.
The issue is Norfolk. Like, when does Florida call the dogs off? Because they have 12 of them.
Right.
And you got it. I mean, Norfolk's got to get to 60, I would think.
Yeah.
For you to be good. And I just, they're so good and swarm. Like, you get the ball underneath the hoop against Florida, you can't even get it over your shoulders.
Right.
Like it just gets punched right back in your face. So good luck to Norfolk State. They've had a great year. They come in scoring a bunch of points. I have looked at that over. So you're going to need like a 95, 55, right around there, I think, because it's in the 160s.
I think Florida's going for 100. That's the thing with Florida. They shoot threes, and then when they miss their threes, there's three dudes who are all close to 7 feet just standing there getting the rebounds.
Yeah. And you have to take the ball out of bounds after it just got slammed on your head.
Yeah, exactly. Steve, how much do you put into, speaking of Florida and the SEC in general, of conference. And like these matchups and what we saw in the regular season, and like, hey, is the SEC going to just keep being dominant? Is it, there's the ACC's been shit on, but maybe, they only got 4 teams in. Maybe these teams are better than people think. How much do you play into that when you're looking at these games?
Well, I'm beaten over the head every night watching games with a former ACC guy and just hearing how bad the ACC is year in and year out. And then they had 3 teams. They've gotten the most wins the last 5 years, I think I saw, of any conference in the tournament, which is mind-blowing to me, knowing how everyone shits on it. And I get it. The bottom of the conference is terrible, but I still think the top is good. To me, it's still about matchups. It really is. Now, if you're going with the bracket and everybody's already filled out, like I said, you can't have Florida or Duke. You got to be different and just hope, because everyone has Florida Duke in the final, and that's scary to me. And if you're trying to get, people go about the bracket different ways, and I just go against the trends. It feels like everybody had the 1s and 2s playing in the Elite 8. So, it's Florida. As impressive. The conference that they just stormed, they won every game by double digits. And you hear about all the power ranking numbers and everything. They just dominated that conference. So they're as impressive as, UConn last year, you wondered, because I think the Big East only got 3 teams. So it was like, all right, well, when they start playing some better teams, how are they going to respond? But Florida's played the best of the best, and I expect them. They're gonna have to get tripped up in a game where a team is an A+ and they're like a C,
right?
C-.
Right.
That's the only way I see them losing.
We'll get back to Stanford Steve in a second. He's brought to you by Experian. Madness in March is good. Madness in credit is bad. To take control of your credit and finances, make sure you pick the Experian app. Experian could be your financial Cinderella. Tons of free tools at your fingertips to help you take control of your financial life. The amount of free tools you get with Experian could fill a bracket with things like your free FICO score. You could boost your FICO score instantly, free with Experian Boost. They also have free credit monitoring with alerts to keep you in the know on changes to your profile. And free access to a marketplace of credit card, loan, and auto insurance options, all matched to you. Make sure you're ready for your one shining moment with Experian. Go to the App Store, download the free Experian app today. Results will vary. See App Store for details. Go to the App Store and download that free Experian app right now. Stanford Steve is also brought to you by Venmo. It's big time Venmo season. We got Venmo with us all throughout March. You know that you have Venmo. It's that app that's right there on your phone. It's the easiest to use. Everybody has it. If you're entering pools, if you're doing different Calcutta picks, Venmo is what you're going to be using. You know that already. But now you can sign up for the Venmo debit card in seconds. You can add your card instantly to Apple Pay or Google Pay to use your balance right away with no monthly fee and no minimum balance requirement. Earn up to 5% cash back at top brands when you shop with a Venmo debit card, whether you're splitting the bar tab or snacks for the watch party at home. Use Venmo debit card for the game day assist. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp N.A., pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh offer terms apply. Start spending your Venmo balance instantly with Venmo debit card. Sign up today. Venmo.com/card/apply. Now here's more Stanford Steve. Big game for conference pride would be UNC Ole Miss. I feel like that swings a lot of emotion. Like if you're an ACC guy, you're definitely rooting for UNC to say, like, even when in a down year, we can still beat the fuck out of you guys. UNC, do we owe Bubba Cunningham an apology? Did Bubba Cunningham get it right?
No.
I do. I will apologize. Seth Davis said that. He's like, no matter what happens tonight, it doesn't mean that this was right or wrong. I was like, yeah, it fucking does. When UNC wins, then the committee was right. And if they lose, then they should be banned from basketball.
That was my issue, because as soon as it came out, I bet Carolina goes to Sweet 16 because of the matchup. Like, I just can't do it with Mountain West teams. And then you look at Ole Miss, who's a 6, played in the SEC, but they don't have it. Like Carolina, you watch them, and the biggest jarring thing, they don't have any bigs that are like pros. Like forever in your life, Carolina's had pros that are bigs, but Ole Miss doesn't have any bigs really either. So, like, I love the matchup for Carolina here. And, it's probably a conference pride deal. And that's the other thing, PFT, is, like, the SEC haters having to hear that they set a record for 14 teams. And they are just waiting because they're going to set the record for most losses in a tournament.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Only one team ends the season with a win. I just know that is starting. It's just a matter of how fast it accumulates. But that army is coming to jump on the SEC. Oh, but they got the record for the most losses. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
So no, it's definitely a big conference pride deal. Where is this game? This game is in.
Let's see.
Oh, it's got to be close. It's got to be in Cleveland, right? Because they just
Yeah.
played in Dayton.
Fiserv.
Yeah. Oh, that might be Milwaukee.
Fiserv, Milwaukee. Yeah.
Milwaukee.
Um.
So yeah, South got to travel north.
All right. 2 other overs I'm looking at on Friday. You can tell me if I'm crazy.
Give it to me. There's one I absolutely love.
Okay. New Mexico Marquette.
Okay.
I think both those teams are going to try to get up and down. And then the other one was Arizona Akron. That's high, very high. But they just fucking run. And I don't know. Akron's going to have trouble. Arizona's not that big, but neither is Akron. I think they're just going to shoot threes, and it's going to be one of those games that there's going to be crazy runs both ways. And I'm just expecting the pace to be so out of control that we can get to 75 possessions each side.
Yeah, this is one of the probably the most interesting 13-4 when I look at the matchups. I know you guys were heavily invested in the MAC tournament. It's one of my favorite tournaments. I really think those teams are legit. They played in Cleveland. Every team's from freaking Ohio, so the building's packed. It's an awesome atmosphere. And Akron, to your point, they just want to go. Like, all right, we gave up a hoop, but they make threes.
Right.
That's the problem with the MAC teams when they get to this level is their three-point shooting falls off. And with that, I love the defense that Arizona guards play. But Akron's style, it's not like they prefer the three. Everybody prefers an open three, but Akron's like, all right, fine. You want to take away that? We'll go to the hoop. So their pace is incredible, and it's getting, it's pretty trendy dog. I've heard plenty of people pick the upset. I like Arizona's personnel, and I love the fact if they move on that they already played Duke. And they've seen that length and athleticism. So Arizona's kind of a sneaky team for me. I knew you were going to take the highest over on the board. Like you never look at the, an Ivy League over, or something like that. You always want to go with the over. But yeah, I don't see how you take the under in that game, knowing the pace that those people plays. And he's probably the biggest outlier in the tournament because his good has brought a team to a national championship game, and his bad has not been good, and that's Caleb Love.
Yeah,
he is. I thought he was really good against Houston in the final, and Arizona made. I was really curious about them in the Big 12 tournament, but they were impressive. And that bracket, and I do my teams that can win the national title. I have 5 teams in that bracket that can win it.
What are
they?
Give them to
Wisconsin
us.
Hanging by a thread.
Yeah.
Hanging by a thread because of the draw. We will know how we're doing there. But BYU's a team that everyone's picking against, but they were on the list.
BYU can win the national title.
Yes.
BYU leave them.
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge names.
The Denver spot I like, but though
yeah,
the VCU thing, it's kind of hard to do now. But our chips are in. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The other over that I love is Kentucky-Troy.
Oh, yeah.
Kentucky is not interested in playing defense. Now, with Butler back, he's their only line of defense because he is a really good defensive point guard. He's got plenty of tournament experience, but the shoulder, it seems like it's not to the extent of Malik Brown for Duke, but they need him to go far. But they're still going to shoot. I mean, they're like my favorite team to watch in college basketball, the way they play 5 out, and Barea is an unbelievable shooter, and they could shoot it from all over. So I look at that, and Troy's a team that beat Rico's Arkansas State team that he quickly jumped off the bandwagon of, and they gave it to him. I mean, they go to the hoop, and they're pretty fearless. So I like that over.
Okay.
All right, so who are the other teams that you think can win it all? You've got BYU, Wisconsin by a thread.
Yep.
Who else? Duke,
Arizona, Bama.
Duke,
That's
Arizona,
all
Bama.
in that.
But I have said all year, Duke will not win the national championship if they don't have Malik Brown.
Ooh, and
That's what
he's
scares
out.
me.
I don't think he's coming back.
It's dicey.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. I have the list every year, PFT, and then I'm doing that's when you get the bracket, I go through that, and I'm like, oh my God, the East. So all this talk about Duke having an easy draw, I don't believe it at all. We touched on Baylor and Mississippi State. They're a pain in the ass, and that's the least amount of talk about the 8-9 versus the 1 than any other. Like, you go through the other bracket, everyone's talking about UConn getting a rematch, or, two-time champ going against the last two-time champ in Florida. Gonzaga's getting plenty of talk, and then Louisville gets to play in Lexington, but no one's talking about Creighton in that game. So all those 8-9s against the 1 have gotten more steam, I feel, and Mississippi State and Baylor winner is dangerous to me to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Other best bets on Friday, sorry?
We got the UConn over.
You want to talk about?
I got one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Liberty Oregon over. Just strictly because it's
the lowest.
It's the lowest, and it's also the last game, and I feel like crazy shit happens in those
Oregon's
nighttime matchups.
always in that game too.
Yeah.
Oh, that game they had last year was brutal.
Yeah.
When they had 5 guys
on Creighton. Yeah.
The one I'm interested in here is Michigan State. Mm-hmm. I look at their team total under because they don't care how they win. Like, does that make sense? Like, they're like, you want to shoot some threes? All right, we know we got to shoot some threes, but you know what? You're not going to make threes, so we're going to, slow it down and make it methodical. But they're not interested in scoring high numbers. And with Michigan State, and plenty of people have picked them to the Final Four. They've had a great season, overachieved from what they were at the beginning of the season. There's a bunch of those teams, but they come to mind at the top. But, like, it's pretty high. Like, it's in the 80s, I think I had.
Yeah, that you
85.5. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I don't see that. And Bryant's got some guys. Like, Bryant's got some size. They got a point guard at 6'6" that can do it. So that's a really interesting game to me. And I feel like Michigan State, they dictate a lot. And if they want to, let's make that team defend you in the paint.
Izzo is he's kind of like Saban in that once it's over, it's over. He's not going to push it. He's not going to Nate Oates where they're just still running and gunning up a million. Like, he kind of respects the game,
and they don't violate the 3-point line.
Right.
They're pretty methodical, and it's been successful. So why are you going to get away from that? So that's one that stuck out to me.
Okay.
All right, so who are the other teams that you have overall across the bracket that can win it all?
Be careful, because one of these might have already been eliminated.
I know. Well, now we know they cannot win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only going to be one standing. Midwest, Houston, Kentucky, Tennessee. West, Florida, St. John's, Tech, Terps. South, Auburn, Iowa State, Sparty.
Okay, let's actually talk real quick about Maryland Grand Canyon in this game. I like Maryland. I think they're a phenomenal team. You got to be a little nervous if you're a Maryland fan, knowing your depth issues. Crab 5 is great, but it falls off after that. And in the tournament, you're always just one bad whistle away from being like, holy shit, how do we have, we got to sit a guy with 2 fouls 5 minutes into the game. What are your thoughts on Maryland overall and making a deep tournament run?
I really like it because they know what they got, Dan. I even look at Florida, and it's just like, I don't even know how they do substitution patterns because you don't argue with who's on the floor. And then you look at it, you're like, oh, so-and-so only played 12 minutes. Well, does it matter? You scored 90 and you won by 20.
Right.
But Maryland knows what they have to get from guys. And I think it's only 6 points they get from the bench a game. And I thought that was even high because I watch them every night. And it's like no one scores on the bench. Geronimo's a great backup big man. The issue is Queen. You saw him get refereed differently in the Big Ten tournament. Went to the hoop a bunch against Michigan and didn't get calls. But Willard's got plenty of experience. He is a guy that if a player gets 2 fouls, they sit in the first half. That's a fact. So does he change his ways there? But I just love their shot making. Their guards are tremendous. They run great stuff. The issue with Maryland in that starting 5 is their guards don't rebound. But they're such an offensive team that I don't think they worry about that. But I really like their draw. And at some point, when you're the 4, you play the 1.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And you get a week to prepare. And you roll the balls out. So it's been really, really cool. The Crab 5 thing, what these guys done, how Willard has constructed this roster after they were abysmal shooting the ball the last couple of years. Just couldn't do it. It was tough to watch. And now here they are, one of the best scoring teams in a power conference. So I love the Terps.
Okay.
Steve, what's your plan in terms of your bet management strategy for what you're looking at? Like I'm talking about, like, do you have a pen and a paper? Do you have a physical piece of paper in front of you while you're watching the games? Do you have it written down on like a whiteboard, or do you just rely on the app?
This is already written. This has been a couple-day tally of things we like. With the apps now, it's kind of like, do you want to look at how bad it was? Like everything's in there,
right?
Where you look at it, and it's like, oh, I still got this to play, and I still got this in play. There's some pen and paper, but if you're going out to the bars with the guys, kind of leave that pen and paper home because you don't want that getting out or losing it because they're, you got to instill it in your head already, and you got to have a mindset going in worry of the intake of being, accumulating over the course of a day. And now, I mean, what do we got? We got a 10 o'clock tip and a 10:10 tip. Safe bet is to be in bed for those ones.
Yeah, my
you gotta be.
My plan every March Masters, again, I'm a losing bettor. I lose every year.
Everyone does.
Yeah,
that.
everyone
does.
But you can't. There's got to be a moment where you just let go of all the numbers and analysis and things you've been reading and just let it fly. Just start seeing the ball, throwing to open spots. Like that happens early on Thursday where I'm like, all right, I've done all the research. I got all my notes. We got to just go. We got to trust the process.
And PFT, to your point, a lot has changed. I mean, growing up and seeing people, relatives, friends bet with a bookie and just let the tab run, that is like, those don't happen as long because you're on the apps. It's like, all right, am I going to put another 1,000 on here? Like you really have that come to face moment. All right. When you're looking at, the deposits and the withdrawals. So I think it's, you got to know what you have going in. Cause again, Thursday and Friday are absolute marathons. And I always just say, try to stay in the fight.
Yeah.
Just try and stay in the fight. And if you get to Saturday, you clear down, you got a couple more hours. I think that first game's not till 1:40. But stay in the fight and, again, wake up Saturday positive as hell.
Yeah, I like to write it down, though, in the first two games because there's so much happening. So much basketball going on. I feel like I'm being pulled in 7 different directions. I like to have the pen and the paper in front of me. Now, you're right. If you're going out to a bar.
Notepad?
Yeah,
Giant yellow?
Preferably yellow notepad. That's the best one. But, yeah, if you're going out to a bar with friends, I don't think anybody likes the guy that keeps, pulling out a sheet of paper and, crossing things off and checking all that stuff. But we're going to be in a gambling-rich environment on Thursday and Friday. So
yeah, you guys streaming?
Yeah. Streaming them all. all.
Oldie coming?
Oldie is not coming for these ones.
That would be. I don't know if that's a good mix.
Yeah, Oldie is electric. He was electric on the
He's
stream.
also on fire.
PFT, the video of you working on the car and him helping the garbage guys, I could not stop.
Just
laughing.
instantly, and it's not for the camera either. Like that's Oldie didn't know I was videoing. Yeah.
And the accent, it's like in the way he says "boys," like I can't get enough of it.
You should see Steve. He literally the 4 days he was here last week. Every time I turned around, he was taking out the trash. He was restocking the water bottles. Like he just doing everything. He can't sit still.
Then, I listened to how it all came about when Yans was talking about how he's friends with Nasher. And can you imagine him going in the Rangers locker room before a playoff hockey?
Yes.
Hey boys,
it's incredible.
They loved him too. He showed me the video. The guys went nuts. It's like a stripper. He's like a male stripper for dudes, for straight guys.
Yeah.
You bring him in, and then he just gets you fucking pumped up. And he also takes his clothes off sometimes too.
Yeah. And he's got a vagina.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
Love him.
All right.
Like that. I mean, you guys have always found these diamonds in the rough, but man, it's said about you guys forever. Like you just keep living up to the hype, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I can't get enough of him. Love the guy.
Can't get
and
enough.
But his genuine energy is just incredible, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Steve, the last 2 times he's come down here, the only 2 times, he's brought additional pieces of carry-on luggage with him just so he can fill them up with Canadian snacks that we don't have down in the States. And then he gets down here and just passes them out. He brought like maple syrup. He brought candy bars that we don't have down here. He brings it all. He brought 2 boxes of Tim Hortons donuts, and they sat next to him on the plane. The guy's just a gem.
And every morning when he wakes up in his hotel room, he packs all of his stuff back up and brings it to the office because he's like, what if I forget something? So every day he wakes up when he's here,
And
like he's going to the airport, and then he brings it back.
God.
It's crazy.
Those are my worst times when I'm traveling for game day. But the other thing that I heard those guys is like, yeah, he like if he gets the call, he just tells his garbage guys in Canada. He's like, yeah, boys called, gotta go,
Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. He says, gotta go.
Oh, it's great.
All right, Steve, last question, rowback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE. So obviously we watched Thursday, and this is coming out Friday, but you can still bet on this. 2 national champions, so people could possibly put a future on. 2, give us 2.
Oh, I'll give you they're on the same side. Alabama and Tennessee.
Oh, Rick Barnes.
Yes, I love Rick Barnes. I know everyone picks apart Final Fours, but there's plenty of Sweet 16s and Elite Eights in this resume. And this, I mean, you guys know this tournament's a crapshoot. I think it's the craziest way to win a national championship. And, stuff happened. Like last year, he loses to Kai Ziegler, his most valuable player. Connect scores, 37?
Mm-hmm.
And they lose to Purdue. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Right.
There's plenty of those instances. So I do feel different about Tennessee, and they'll probably have already been eliminated by Wofford.
No, I mean,
Wofford will shoot 33s and make 20.
Yeah.
to your point, they might be a better team than they were last year. They don't have their best player, obviously.
They're better offensively. It's not even a question. And Ziegler, you hear, Billis and those guys talk, like maybe there's not 5 more valuable point guards. And what he did in the SEC championship of keep going at Florida was super impressive. He shot it better. He goes to the line a bunch. And they got, some guys in the portal that could score. So I really like that team.
Yeah, both 22-1. So not taking Auburn.
Are they?
Although they're 22-1 right now.
It'll be down a little if because I think they both play, or at least Tennessee plays on Thursday.
I might parlay them both to win the national championship. How about that? Also, I don't know if you heard this, Steve. College basketball expert Jalen Rose last night was talking about he was gassing up Auburn and what a great player Johnny Broome is. So I don't know if you want to kind of follow his advice and bet on Johnny Broome.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I do feel like it's a buy low spot on Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
It might be. It might be.
Women's picks.
Oh.
Got women's picks. You want to get those now?
Yes, go. Give it to us.
There's app. You could find it on multiple apps. UConn and South Carolina to meet in the final, I believe, is plus 400.
Oh.
I like Ole Miss to go to the Sweet 16.
Okay.
UCLA's got the toughest draw. UConn, obviously, to win their region, I believe is around even money. But, that list is way bigger than we've ever had it in the women's game. So I'm fired up for the one. I got 3 daughters. Wife's a hoops fan too. So you guys think you guys are getting the cave with the men's games. We got them all.
Yeah.
When do they start? Friday. Oh man. We got iPads underneath TVs everywhere.
I love
you
it.
Find them in beds the next morning. They're all over. You got to make sure they're charged up. Charge the iPads.
I like that though. Calling your shot on the exact matchup in the championship.
Yes.
game.
It's a good one.
Yep.
I'm going to bet that. All right, Steve, thank you as always. You're the best. Sorry we couldn't get Snooki to pair you with. We'll do it next year. Now, that is tradition. So we reached out. She's sick. She's under the weather.
2 things. PFT, Chief and Senko met you down in Oxford. Big Caps guys. Come on down, rock the red anytime you want. And I want to give good news to Mark Titus that the wing date's not on this year.
Oh,
Dan,
you're not going to be in San Antonio.
I will not be at San Antonio. So Mark can breathe a big sigh of relief.
I'm still going to go with Chenoweth, and we're going to turn on the women's game, and we'll watch some hoops.
Hey, Final Four, big night.
Yeah.
Actually, hey, you know what? You could probably watch Scott and I after the game.
Yeah, perfect.
What everyone loves to do.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
All
Steve.
right, boys.
Stanford Steve was brought to you by No Bull. If you're going to work out, you've got to try No Bull footwear. The best shoes, the most comfortable for both in the gym and on the go. I wore them on a jog the other day. Went running around the neighborhood, felt super comfortable, great shoes. Sometimes it takes you a little bit to get used to a new pair of running shoes. Not with No Bull. They're the best shoes for working out. We use them in the gym all the time. We use them on runs. We use them when we're exercising. We use them just everyday shoes around the office. They're that comfortable, and you know that Tom Brady's involved right now, so you know that it's going to be good. No Bull is the best, and they look great too. Exclusively for Part of My Take listeners, No Bull is offering 30% off your order. Visit www.nobullproject.com/PMT and get 30% off your entire order. So I'm giving you a 30% discount on some of the most comfortable workout shoes that you can ever wear. All you have to do is go to www.nobullproject.com/PMT and get 30% off. That's at No Bull. Steve was also brought to you by KFC. New sponsor alert, KFC. Hank might not have been able to dunk, but there are so many more ways to dunk. With the help of KFC, dunking is now for everyone. So get on the court, show us your best for a chance to come to Barstool Chicago HQ for a dunk contest. Use hashtag KFC_DunkItChallenge. We don't discriminate when it comes to eligible entries. Dorm room dunks, shortened rim dunks, KFC original recipe Tinder dunks, and anything else is all fair game with bonus points for creativity and actual KFC inclusion. Johnny Fanta should get involved in this.
I'm excited for this.
I am too.
Yeah, well, so what's going to happen is we'll share out the winning dunk videos and formally invite them to the in-person dunk contest right here at Barstool Chicago HQ so you guys can show judges Hank, Hannah, Wallow, Gilly, and TBT.
Big Four.
And TBD NBA talent also.
Love that.
That you are the ultimate KFC dunk master. Hank is going to be judging a dunk. If you can't do, judge.
Yeah.
That's what they say. The future
9-foot rims, by the way.
Oh, love that. The future of
I don't know
dunking
if
is
I was
here.
supposed to say that.
The Dunk It Bucket is no ordinary release. The Dunk It Bucket is a first-of-its-kind customizable flavor experience. KFC is introducing the first-ever bucket built for dunking. It's an interactive, crave-worthy food experience designed for ultimate dipping, dunking, sharing, and devouring. Now with the new Dunk It Bucket, KFC is inviting everyone to get in on all the delicious possibilities and dunk it their way. Because dunking isn't just for basketball legends anymore, it's for everyone. Show us your best dunk for a chance to visit Barstool Chicago HQ. Hashtag KFC_DunkItChallenge. For bonus points, head to KFC for the new Dunk It Bucket and elevate your dunking.
Okay, Firefest of the week. Do you see that thing I just sent you, Hank?
Yeah, I mean, the people will know by now.
We're taping this in the morning.
Yeah.
Purdue's 19-13 to the over. Sure.
Under vibes, though, per Hank.
Per Hank.
So,
Purdue is the ultimate under vibes.
Hank, if it makes you feel any better, you have just as much college basketball expertise as Jalen Rose does. Like if you heard that
it's
clip,
the tournament. This is where casuals come to play.
yeah, and that's fine.
And apparently not though. Big Cat's trying to gatekeep my
No, I'm
lack
not.
of ball
No, I'm
knowledge.
not trying to gatekeep. I said, you asked me what I had. I said the over, and you said, ew, Purdue under.
No, I said.
Oh, you said under, and I said I have the over. Oh no, I said I have the over first.
So why under? I
You said the opposite.
vibes.
Yeah, Purdue. Ew, Purdue. I mean, ew, Purdue is right, but they do play. They do score points.
Yeah, like I said,
Their defense sucks.
But at this point, the people will know.
At this point, I got to just double my bet on the over and just make it a personal thing between us.
Ooh, Hank, breaking moves. The Boston Celtics
Whoa.
have been sold.
Ooh.
Oh,
Bill Chisholm, the managing partner at Symphony Technology Group,
Billy.
Billy Chizzy, has agreed to purchase the Celtics from the Grauspick family for a valuation of $6.1 billion.
what does he do?
Billy?
What does he do?
He's the CEO of
Symphony Technology Group.
Symphony Technology.
STG.
That's
so like clarinets and shit.
All right, I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like this guy did a really good job of naming his company, where he's probably like creating drones that kill a bunch of people in foreign countries.
Sounds like a great
but
guy.
he calls it Symphony Technology, so you think of it and you're like, oh, that can't be that
The
bad.
Symphony Technology Group, we leverage advanced solutions to kinetically eliminate challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Private equity.
All right, Symphony Technology.
Yeah,
Group.
they probably are like invested in companies that are putting everyone in America out of work in the next 20 years.
We
But they're called Symphony.
All right, tell me if you can tell me if you can decide what these guys do. We find, build, and scale mid-market software and software-enabled tech service businesses. We have tailored our team and approach specifically to these sectors. We believe we unlock the potential of innovative companies by partnering with top management teams to build customer-centric market winners.
Okay, I know exactly what they do.
That's just they just give them they just
Here's
they
what
just buy the team.
They have McAfee.
No, they just buy the company and infuse cash and
And
then
Dell.
sell it.
No, here's what they do. They buy companies and then they fire everyone and then they make more money.
Yeah. Well, they make everyone work
What,
really
you don't
hard.
like capitalism, PFT? Is that?
No, they make everyone.
I'm just explaining what he does.
They make everyone
Seems-
work really hard for a couple of years. They build it really big, then they fire everyone, then they sell.
Then they sell it. So this guy is going to be acquiring the Celtics. So put that in basketball terms for me. He's going to make Peyton Pritchard play 500 minutes a week and then fire him in 2 years.
Bill Chisholm.
Bill Chisholm. So it's now the largest sale for a sports franchise in North America. The Commanders were sold for $6.05 billion. The Celtics were sold for $6.1 billion.
William Chisholm. I'm trying to learn more about this guy.
Billy Chiz. Hank,
what are you doing?
Hank,
Are you
he's a
on it? Are
managing
you on
partner
it?
at Symphony.
Symphony.
He's Billy Strings.
Yeah.
You love this guy.
Legend. I do love
CG
this guy.
Labs.
I'm also trying to find out some more information on him, but he seems like a great guy. Clearly a very smart business mind. And I'm excited to see what he's got in store. Hopefully he likes the Celtics and isn't doing this as a business.
I'm sure that's what it is.
I mean,
I'm sure the private equity managing partner doesn't care about making money. There's a passion for him.
Well, that's the problem is our current owners, like they were like, we don't care about the luxury tax. We'll lose $100 million a year and we
Yeah.
just want to be a championship winning team. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That is
So
what you want.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
yeah. Okay.
My Firefest of the week. Well, I mean, it's snowing today. That wasn't ideal. Wasn't expecting that driving into work today. And nothing major. It's the best week of the year. Only real Firefest or gripe I have this week is just that the Severance season finale is tonight, Thursday night. It'll be out by now, and I don't know when I'm going to watch it, but I'm terrified of it getting spoiled. So I'm probably going to stay up till like 3 a.m. tonight watching it.
Yeah.
Well, why would you say this out loud?
We may have to cut this.
I don't know.
Yeah,
anything
you
else
got to
to talk
cut
about.
this. You're going to
we may
screw
have to
all of
cut
us.
this.
All right, what do you?
But you know,
People are going to. People are going to try to
well, I'm gonna
spoil you
watch
now.
It is true, but yeah, Hank's going to watch it. So
But then
it's-
everyone
it's-
else is gonna
So
get
it's really our Firefest is that Hank.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
Firefest is that we just talked about this, and I'm going to get it
All
spoiled.
right,
So
so I'll tell. I'll,
So now I have to watch Severance when I get home.
we're keeping it in.
I'll figure.
Okay,
something
we'll
out.
keep it in.
No, I'll figure something. No, you're right. I wasn't.
Fake spoilers only, please.
No, we're keeping it in.
No.
Some people do
no,
fake
no.
ones, some people do real ones, and then you just
Yeah,
don't
if you
know.
mix it up,
Yeah,
if
just
you mix it up, it's totally fine.
And honestly, yeah, you guys don't deserve that. You guys don't deserve that. We can cut it. I don't want that to happen.
Severance
just shows-
is coming out today.
Yeah.
Sopranos came out 22 years ago.
Yeah.
But when I told you I was watching it and enjoying it, you specifically went out of your way for
True.
months to spoil
Fair
it.
counterpoint.
It's not. It wasn't a
All right, we're
coincidental
fine.
thing.
We're,
But
I mean,
we
we're
should
just gonna
cut it.
all. No. We're not cutting it. I'm just gonna have to watch it after the games today as well.
Or watch it with breakfast
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna be up till 2 a.m.
No,
It's 75 minutes.
I'm excited.
You know what this is? This is like a relationship breaker. This Severance coming out right now, because a lot of guys are going to watch it either late night tonight or early tomorrow morning, so they don't watch it on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then their girlfriends and wives are going to be like, what the fuck? You just watched the finale of Severance without me.
Well, they're idiots because they just have to. Like I told my wife, I was like, just watch it without me. I'll figure out when I'm gonna watch it because you can't. Like I'm incapacitated for the next 4 days. I can't be relied on.
No.
Yeah, so I told her I was like, watch it because like come come Monday, you're not going to be like, you're going to get it spoiled. So just watch it.
Do you have any predictions?
I don't think we should do that.
Okay. It's not a spoiler.
We don't follow rules on this show.
Okay.
Facts.
No predictions.
That's facts. I think it's weird that those brothers made out on the boat.
Yeah. But why did that chick stay with him after he unleashed the poisonous snakes? The
That was
cobra?
crazy.
I also saw the meme of the Duke guy with the gun on
Yeah,
his head. And
yeah.
I was like, fuck, it got spoiled. This guy killed himself. Didn't actually kill himself.
Didn't kill
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
And then
So
part
see
there's
the
a
White
spoiler
Lotus,
for
yeah.
who hasn't seen that episode yet.
everything
Yeah.
about
Fuck
that
you
guy
guys.
and everything about Parker Posey's character.
I love Parker Posey so much.
It's so good. Tar Heel.
Yeah.
Where's my
My lorazepam.
My lorazepam's all gone.
Do you know what we're talking about now? Hank?
I do.
White Lotus.
Yeah.
Tar Heel.
All right, what's your prediction? Kier wins it all?
No, I think they're gonna set up a flashback season.
Yeah, it kind of isn't. It's not as big of a deal knowing there's another season. If this was the finale,
I want death. I want multiple deaths.
Oh.
I think Helly's gonna kill her dad.
Oh,
wow.
Shit. All right, we
That's
should
what I
put
want.
like spoil. I guess we
You just want the show to be Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you.
No, I mean she showed.
I want a dragon to
she's-
come out.
No. I mean that'd be cool. Like instead of goats, but she's shown that she can. She wants to kill herself. She's dangerous. She tried to kill Mark in the first season. She tried to kill herself. Like they think that she's her daughter, who's like the whatever of the company, but they don't
Heir?
know. They don't know Helly down there.
Okay.
I think he does want it to be Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like they make Dylan
That's
the
not
boss.
that's not a Game of Thrones. That's a realistic take.
Yeah.
Are you betting
so-
the Purdue over or under?
Under.
Okay.
You told me to.
No, I know.
I bet it for a lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
Oh God. How do we always end up in this spot?
You scoff at me and then I take
Yeah.
it personally.
Yeah. Okay. We'll figure it out. I'm just
No,
gonna
we
have to- I'm gonna have to watch it at 1 a.m. today.
Yeah.
Again, we can cut it because I don't.
No. Because then we just.
But you would get. Would you not see something in the next 3 days? You would.
I'm pretty good at like my eyes. Like when I didn't watch the last one until Tuesday. I'm pretty good at like scrolling, and if I see anything that looks like it, I just scroll as fast as I can. Like I kind of look at the internet like with the magic eye, where like my eyes are a little crossed when I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
I think that that young girl that had the adult's brain inside her.
Miss Huang.
I think.
Wait, she has an adult's brain inside of her.
Yeah, clearly.
Huang.
She was the manager. I think she might be Mark's kid.
Huang.
What do you think about that?
I don't know if the time.
When they were doing the
matches up.
fertility treatments?
Yeah, she was like
Yeah.
10 though.
Yeah.
Timing doesn't match up.
You don't think so? It was right when they graduated from college,
No.
What?
right?
That was
They
like
were-
a flash
They were
forward
college
sequence.
professors.
Yeah, but I thought that I thought the timeline would match up.
No, they were college professors, not in college.
She died like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Miss Huang is like 10.
Okay, never mind. That doesn't add up. That was actually.
But I like the theory.
But you never know.
You never know. I like the
yeah.
theory. I'm not
They
not
keep you
saying it's
guessing.
they could do anything with timelines.
They keep
Like
you
it could be
I like the idea that this isn't my theory. This is on the internet, but it's that Gemma is an innie that they released to the real world to like make Mark fall in love. Like she was never a real person.
Yeah,
Oh.
the Twilight Zone stuff.
She,
where
she got severed to leave.
Yeah,
The Twilight
She was
Zone-
always an innie.
Sorry.
How pissed do you think I would be if I sat down with the therapy woman and she was like, your Audi went 16-0. I'd be so mad. Like, you motherfuckers, I want to feel that right now.
Do you think? I don't think that it's bad that Dylan's wife kissed Dylan's innie.
Me
while at
neither.
work. It's the same guy.
I don't think would you get mad? Like
No,
I don't think
it's
I
a-
would get mad. I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah.
I think the
same guy,
problem
still got
it.
I think the
Yeah.
problem with it is that he's totally different. Like, she's falling in love with the innie because he's totally different than what he's become.
he doesn't
Yeah,
know that.
he doesn't know that.
Yeah,
And
no, I agree. I'm just saying, I think that's why she's kind of broken up about it too.
I say fair play.
But it's also weird
Like
because
you got to support your bros.
Irv and Bert, they treat their innie relationship like it's their outie relationship. But Dylan
Yeah.
and the girl do look at it as completely separate things.
This is the worst recap of Severance ever, but I like it. I like it.
Also,
I like
what I'm
talking
saying is-
Severance
I
with the
thought we were
boys.
cutting this whole thing.
What if Michael Scott just came out and he was Kier at the end, and it was just a big episode of The Office?
That would be sick.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Max?
The Twilight Zone thing is that they have like the same episode names of a Twilight Zone episode about like a mannequin going into the real world. So that's why people back up what Hank said about Gemma was just a mannequin the whole time, and that she's like not even a real person.
I don't like to read too many of the theories online.
I do. I read all of them.
I just get TikTok.
No,
My
because-
TikTok is just golf swing tips and
The problem
Severance.
with reading them though is I
Goats.
think
It's helped your golf swing.
fans of a show, I like to just enjoy the show because I think what happens with the show when it's this good, and it is this good, they think that every little second of the show is like very intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We're like, what was this?
But in Severance, I think it might be. That's the difference. Like a lot of shows, you read too much into it. I think that Severance has all that shit in there on purpose.
My
Yeah.
personal take that's not
But it's not all of it.
Probably not. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
probably some
Yeah.
crackpot ones.
not internet theory based. Just my own take is that they did not expect the show to be as big of a hit as it is, and they are going to stretch it out, and they're going to do an entire like backstory, either season or spin-off show.
Okay.
And I could see it being a season.
They're gonna
Like,
Ted Lasso it, go
they're
on
just
too
gonna-
long.
No, they're just going to go back 20 years and tell they're going to tell Bert's whole story. They're going to tell Milicich's whole story.
Oh
Like,
yeah, you saw that Cobell's like factory story.
Yeah, and basically, and then the next season is going to be the continuation of this season.
Do they live in Alaska?
People say it's Michigan.
It feels like the UP. It's just always snowing and dark.
Yeah. There's a giant body of water.
Well, no, I did read that the like I was reading about the filmography. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cinematography.
Cinematography. Thank you, because I thought it's a very cool shot show, and I'm really stupid about this stuff. But they said that they intentionally like the fact that it's always snowy and the cars and and everything they put in it makes it feel like you couldn't fully pinpoint what like time it is in
Yeah.
the universe.
The cars are all shitty. They're all from like the 90s or 80s.
Right, you
But
can't
they have
fully-
modern cell phones.
Right, so you can't
But no
fully
iPhones.
figure it out
Yeah.
where it is. I thought they had iPhones.
No one on the show has an iPhone. That's a big internet thing
Oh,
because iPhone doesn't let
bad guys?
yeah,
Bad guys?
antagonists
Yeah.
use iPhones. So people are like, is everyone an antagonist?
I kind of have a little weird crush on Cobell. She's like, there's a couple
You think she's
times.
good or
Oh
bad?
yeah,
I don't know, but I think she's a baddie.
Yeah.
I'd hit.
yeah.
There are a couple times when I'm like, oh, what is that?
I think when she was younger.
Huff some gas and
Fox.
hit.
Yeah,
Some ether, yeah.
yeah. All right, good Severance talk. What's your Firefest, Hank?
That was it.
Oh yeah,
Good Firefest.
That's how we got here.
yeah, that is how we got here. Okay, PFT.
My Firefest is that earlier this week I was coming home late and the lock on my front door, I lost the key to it a long time ago. So I've just been going in through the garage, no big deal. But I've got a lock on my back door through the garage to get into my house, and it's been blinking red when I enter the code to get in for the last like 2 months. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but it was still working. So I got there on I think it was Sunday night after we recorded PMT.
What?
And
That's kind of weird.
I hit the
What
code.
could this mean?
Yeah,
I'll just ignore this.
yeah.
could
I
this
just ignored it. I was like, it still
Blinking
works.
red button.
I was like, is this good? So I enter the code in and it blinks red, but it blinks like faster and red this time, and then it makes
Oh, it's
like
kind of cool.
it makes a pathetic sound like it's trying to open the lock and it doesn't. And then I just sat there
You ran out of batteries.
and I hit it again and it still didn't work. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. I think I'm locked out of my house right now. And so I keep entering it. And then after about, I'd say 7 minutes, probably not 7 minutes. I'd say probably like 2.5 minutes. It finally opens and I get in. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is cool. So then I'm going home again later.
No thought to change the battery.
No thought.
No thought to change the battery. So then I go home again later this week and I'm trying to get in. Doesn't open. Same thing happens. It's like, okay, I'll just sit here for, we'll give it 2.5, 5 minutes, and I'll just keep entering the code until it opens because that's what happened on Sunday. And I keep doing it, and the door just never opens.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
And so then I just go out and I fall asleep in my car in the garage, and I just wait. And then I got up like an hour later, went back to it. Second time, it finally opened up. and I got inside. At that point, I thought I'd look it up, and I had to change the battery on it. So I'm able to get inside now, but I slept in my car for like an hour, I think on Tuesday night. No big deal. It was comfortable in the car.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was blinking.
The car wasn't on, right? All right, it was the electric?
Yeah, the car wasn't on in the garage. It's all good. Good point, though, Hank. Don't run your car in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably should have known that something was wrong with the garage or with the door lock the first time when it started blinking red a few weeks ago.
I was just excited to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, when you have a household appliance that starts blinking red like it's a bomb about to go off, maybe just
That's cool.
Maybe Google it. But now I feel like I'm on like I got a clear path in front of me because I got a brand new set of batteries in there.
Would you be fine since it was electric? If it was on?
It says not to run it in the garage just in case it starts a fire.
Got it.
So
But you wouldn't. It wouldn't be the.
I think it's a general rule of thumb.
yeah.
That's actually like a funny bit of like someone trying to kill themselves with an electric
Electric
car
car.
by accident.
Yeah.
Just being like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
He just takes like a 8-hour
Yeah,
nap.
they wake up like, he's like, what the fuck?
Am I in heaven?
A guy who owns a Prius catches his wife cheating on him, and he just goes to the garage. He's like, I'm ending it all. And just stays in there for like a
Sits
day.
there, yeah.
But yeah, my garage is good now. But that's a good point. Even if you have a hybrid or an electric car, some of them produce some emissions, so don't do that.
Yeah.
But I was good.
Okay. I don't really have a fire. Oh, I guess like the only fire fest I have is on Saturday, St. Patrick's Day. One, I was obviously just sad seeing everyone go out, and I was like, fuck, I wish I could go out again and still be able to hang. And then two, I got bagels and donuts for my family, and I got a green bagel, and then my kids were convinced that it was poisonous, and they made me eat it first. So that was kind of fucked up. They were just
That's
like,
your job.
you got to eat that. And then I faked
dad
dead
move,
for
though.
I faked dead for like 3 minutes. That was kind of funny. What, Max?
You're just a bad guy.
Why?
Because the kids were probably scared.
I ate it.
I know. It's like, fake firing someone.
Oh, fake. Oh, the fake death. You mean?
Yeah, fake death.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, troll. I was just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
My daughter was like, "Get up, get up."
Isn't that a good precedent to set, though, that dad always eats first?
Yeah.
Like, you have to wait till I eat.
I just thought it was kind of bullshit. Like we should have, like drawn straws to see who could eat the poison, something like that.
Yeah.
Seems a little like if I go down, there's problems for everyone. So, all right, Max, you got a fire fest?
I normally don't do fire.
I know, but I just asked.
I feel like I did have one, but I can't remember.
Your entire day yesterday?
Oh yeah, DMV. That's actually what it was. DMV sucks. DMV, Illinois makes no sense. Impossible to get an appointment because everyone's trying to get real ID. Real ID, that's a load of bullshit.
Oh, they're
Just
not.
let you-
Are they doing it again?
Yeah, in May, starting May 5th.
I don't have
you
it.
need real ID. And
don't
now
have
it's
it.
impossible to get an appointment. And then you get an appointment, and then you go to the DMV, and then you still wait in line for like 2 hours, and then you go from one line to the next line. There's 6 different lines you go to at the DMV. Why can't there just be one line? You go to one person, you get everything done, and you leave. You go to 8 different lines, and you get an appointment, and appointment means nothing.
Good
I hate the DMV.
job, Max.
People were nice, though. I will say that. People at the DMV get a bad rap for being mean. The people were nice there, but
Yeah.
too many lines.
Yeah.
No, the people are nice because I mean, also they have a job that's not. People aren't walking to the DMV being like, "Thank you so much for your customer service." So it's a thankless job. But yeah, the line situation. You just walk around everywhere.
I swear to God, I went into 6 different. There's a line outside to get to the line inside. Then you get to the line inside to get to the first person, and then you go. That person says you got to go take a picture. I don't know why I had to take a picture. I just took a picture 3 months ago. Then I have to go to another person at another desk. Then they actually fill everything out. Then you got to go to the cashier. You just a line to pay someone, and then you go to the final person and they print out your ID. There's 6 different lines.
Yeah.
Too many lines.
You have to take tickets at like 4 different places
There's
to get
so
a
many-
number. Yeah, and then they send you right in. I ran into the Illinois Secretary of State last time I was at the DMV because I saw his picture on the wall.
They make that guy look like Kier.
Yeah, and then the guy that was on the wall just walked past me in the hallway, and I stopped and I go, "You're that guy from the wall." And he looked at me and was like, "Yeah, what can I help you with?" I was like, "I'm trying to register my license plate on my El Camino, and no one's helping me." He's like, "Okay, I can help you with that." They told me I couldn't put bitchin' as my license plate.
Bullshit.
That is bullshit.
But what's the guy's name?
Alexi Janulius?
Janulius. Yeah, good guy. He reached out later, tried to make it better. He's like, "I'm sorry, I can't do bitching. If you want his number, Max, I'll give you his number. You can complain to him."
Look, he looks like Kier.
Yeah.
They just have like his picture
Praise
as soon as you
Alexi.
walk in. And
Yeah,
it's
there's like candles that are lit in front of
yeah.
it. Yeah. That's a good Fyre Fest.
Firefest.
DMV.
That was a good Firefest.
I
Shout
heard
out Hank. Thanks for reminding me of what my Fire Fest was.
I mean, that's all you talked about yesterday.
I know. I was pissed. Hank just kept saying too much about the DMV. You get two complaints about going to the DMV. I said it like 15 times.
I love it.
I heard that they set up like a special place downtown that you can go to just for the Real ID stuff.
Yeah, I heard that.
Oh,
too.
I need
also,
that.
the reason I went to the DMV was because when I lost my wallet when I broke my foot 4 months ago.
Oh,
I
so
just
you
got
it?
just got my license.
That's a bad night.
Yeah,
so wait,
no.
so you
I've just been driving around
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
license for 4 months, but I have one now.
okay? So you're back. So
Yeah,
don't even try it.
Pug just kept being worried for me. He was like, "Wait, so you really just drive around like with the possibility of getting pulled over?" And I'm like, "It's fine, dude. It's fine." He's like, "That would be I would be freaking out."
Oh, Pug's a rule follower. Hey, by the way, memes. Are you ever gonna get the bumper fixed? I'll pay for it at this point.
I already
It's
paid him
crazy.
for it.
You did?
No, Hank gave him $2,000 to get it fixed, and he just
$2,500.
pocketed it.
I couldn't believe it when I was watching the PMTV. So for people that don't understand, so when I got a new car in like 2018, I sold my car to Hank for $1. Hank then kind of cucked me, and 3 years later, gave the car to Memes, made me look like a bad guy.
$2.
Oh, you did? Oh,
No, actually, negative $2,500 for
yeah,
me.
yeah. So,
Negative,
but Hank got
$24.98.
Hank got in a car accident. It's like
Carson, I drove into a pole
it
in
was
my
like
garage.
it was like an 8-year-old, like it was like 7 years old. The car that I sold to Hank, so it's like still got a lot of miles left, and it's a good car.
Great car.
But yeah, Hank hit a pole a week before he sold it to Memes, which was how long ago?
Before we moved to Chicago, so through
2 years
coming
ago?
up on 2 years.
And Hank gave him cash to get the bumper
I
fixed.
went and got it estimated. They told me like how much it was going to cost, and then I just gave that to Memes.
and Memes just has duct tape on his bumper.
In fairness,
I-
I would have done the same thing. The only reason I felt bad that I was giving you a damaged car, but like
But also it was
if you had given if that situation had happened where you're like, oh, I just got in a little fender bender, here's some money to get it fixed, I probably would have done the same exact thing.
but it's not like a little fender bender. It's a big hole on the
But it doesn't. Does it affect driving?
No, not at all. I fucked up by not
Have
getting
you
it done
seen it?
right away.
There's duct tape
Yeah.
like holding it
doesn't
together.
affect it.
I saw it on the PMTV with Oldie, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
Means you got to get into another small car accident and then give that car to Jack.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just pay it
Well,
forward.
I thought about getting it fixed one time, and then I did the thing Hank did and like backed into a pole.
Oh, so
happens.
that's a different
So
one.
It
no,
happens.
it's the same one. But like when I thought about getting it fixed, I was like, oh, this is just gonna happen again. So what's the point?
I'll just wreck it again. What's the point of getting
2 years, by the way.
What's the point of getting a
2
new
years.
car? I'm
I was
just going to get
shocked.
into another accident.
Got a bad blind spot.
Oh man, that car's got to stay in PMT forever. So like, if we ever hire like someone younger, you just give it to them, but it can never get fixed now. It's just got to have duct tape on.
No, I will get it fixed.
No, Hank or Mews has to give the next person $3,000.
Yeah, to dent it even more. Pug, you being a little pussy about Max not having a license?
Some of us are law-abiding citizens.
He is the president.
They don't let presidents drive normally.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
I just love that Pug was like worried for
Yeah.
Max. That's very Pug-like. She's like, "What are you doing? I'm so nervous."
He found out on the way back from our drive from Indy, and he was like, "Wait a minute, so you've just been driving this whole time without a license?" I was like,
I'm surprised he
I
didn't
have a
fucking
license. It's just not on me."
Pug, you should have taken it
What,
once.
that doesn't. Wait a minute. That doesn't affect the safety of you.
What'd he say?
He was like, he said you have 2 other people in the car, as if like I like was driving drunk.
Yeah.
So you have other people with real licenses that could not get
Oh.
in trouble.
No, I
That's fair.
think Pug was worried about getting pulled over. Max gets found with no ID, and then in Pug's mind, the cops raid the entire car.
Yeah.
That would,
And you all get deported.
Yeah.
Italians. You guys are going back to Italy.
that'd be kind of chill.
Oh man. Yeah, I just love Pug, you should have taken it a step further and you should have citizens arrested him. You should have like literally put your hands on the wheel and pulled it over and been like, "Get out. We're taking you downtown. You shouldn't be driving."
If it wasn't a work trip, I would have thought about it.
Oh God. Pug citizens arresting Max would be so great.
Be good.
Just try to tackle him. All right. Good job, boys. Madness. Monday will be a recap of everything. Let's do numbers.
3.
1.
I mean, I gave you. I
He gave you a
I
beat.
gave you.
He gave you a beat.
I'm gonna do. Who plays the 3 seeds? The 14. Mm-hmm. All right, 14. If the 14 hits, a 3 seed's gonna lose.
Okay.
99 Poe.
21.
I'll go 64.
I go 85. Oh,
81.
saw the one.
81.
Sorry, memes.
It's okay. One day.
No,
Maybe.
no. Love you guys.